Let me know when it's running.
It's on Periscope.
Wait for YouTube to kick in here.
It's the last one I check.
YouTube seems like the slowest one.
It is. It's the only one that has an inconsistent upload.
All right, here we go. I am so ready for this game. I've been thinking about it all day since it became apparent that KD was, in fact, going to play. So rare that you'll see this kind of a situation in the NBA where, in theory, if the Warriors were totally healthy, you might favor them in this one game, but they are down 3-1. How does KD coming back, even if it's only an 80%, 70% KD, change this series and some of the matchups within it?
I mean, it changes almost everything because now the Warriors can play Draymond Green at center. And now they can go to some of their switching lineups. And yeah, Durant is probably not going to be the same guy, especially defensively. But he's still a ton better than their other options. And so now, if DeMarcus Cousins isn't effective, they can go away from him. If the switching lineups are working well. And also, incredibly importantly, it gives Toronto one less place to put their less dangerous defenders. And it gives them another place to that they can't attack from, and all of those sorts of elements as well.
So this is our Game 5 of the 84 finals here in the Bay Area. It's like 95 degrees right now in Berkeley. We do not have air conditioning. We're on the second floor of the house. We got the fans running. So I had to go with the sleeveless look today. I realize that's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but I'd like to survive until the end of this. So I really can't wait for this. It's really like a game one in terms of the strategy. The Warriors are going to start the death lineup with Green at center. There was a thought in game one that they could run Gasol off the floor. They've completely gone away from attacking him in the slightest now. But now with Green at center, they've got a lot of ways to go at someone like Gasol or Ibaka when he comes in the game. I don't know how much KD ISO you're going to see. I think in the post, I actually would expect him to be a little bit more effective than facing the basket, because if he is still experiencing lingering soreness in that calf or a feeling that he may re-injure it, he's not going to want to push off behind him in the same mechanism that caused the injury to begin with. But 2-foot stuff, I've had that injury before, isn't as bad. Taking a couple of dribbles, rising up for a jump shot isn't as bad. So maybe we'll see him in the post against Lowry, against Van Vliet. And the Raptors, are they going to just stick with their conventional defense? Are they going to switch more now? They are switching more off the ball now with Steph Curry setting screens. So I think the Warriors have a tactical advantage. They know how they want to play with this group. And the Raptors, we don't know whether some of their guys who may not fit as well against that, it changes the whole series. This is the lineup that the entire league has not been able to defend, and big men getting run out the floor and all that. And maybe that happens to the Raptors, maybe it doesn't, but it's at least a possibility at this point.
Well, yeah, and the Raptors are the best defensive team that this Warriors team has faced. So and they have strong personnel, not perfect personnel, but strong personnel to slow it down. They have a lot of intelligent defenders. They have a lot of active defenders. Their guards are physically strong, which is an important element against the Warriors. So it changes things, but I think this is also an opportunity for Toronto to really put their stamp on this. And I don't put asterisks on any championship. That's just the way that I feel.
Yep.
Maybe that gold medal that Russia had, that you did the podcast on years ago, the Russia USA basketball one with the officiating stuff.
Well, no, that one I thought actually the Russians had more of a case than the Americans in that one.
Anyway,
the Soviets, we should.
You inspired me with the jersey, but but Toronto has a chance to say, okay, look at this. We faced, maybe not at full strength, but we faced their best lineup and we beat it. And I think that will be a really good thing for them. Even though all it is chatter and all it will ever be is chatter, if they win this series, that chatter will exist.
Well, another thing that's really important, too, for having KD back, even again, if he's not at 100%, and, I think the cardio is going to be a big question for him. The effort plays are going to be a big question for him, maybe more so than what he's doing with the ball. but just not having his replacements out there.
Right.
Just having someone who can stand there, play defense against Kawhi Leonard and not require an instant double team like Alfonso McKinney, and just stand there and shoot a wide open three-pointer is such an upgrade over what they've had already. That, in addition to the fact that it also unlocks this completely different way of playing for Golden State. What else you got?
Well, I'm interested in how Toronto changes not only their defensive assignments, but their rotation, because now the Lowry-Van Vliet combination is significantly less tenable, because now one of those guys has to be guarding a more dangerous player. And we assume Fred Van Vliet is going to be on Curry when he's on the floor, and as he should be. But Lowry has some challenges here. He's such a valuable offensive player, and he fights like hell. But it's a little bit different when you're facing this group, how that manages Danny Green's minutes, whether OG Anunoby makes a return. He's been active for the last few games, but Nick Nurse hasn't seen him fit to play.
Yeah. I can't imagine he's out there unless they're just completely failing with the guys who've been playing so far.
Right, yeah. I mean, a break glass in case of emergency, I think, is a good way of putting
it. Another thing to watch is going to be how Steph Curry looks. I thought he was awesome in Game 3, quite pedestrian in Game 4. I thought he looked really exhausted. And, I'm not going to expect KD to come out here and drop 30. So what it's really about is him opening things up for Steph a little bit more. Does Steph have the stamina to take advantage after playing the entire second half of each of the last two games?
Yeah, it's a great question. And whether we speculated about the lingering effects potentially of Game 3 and Game 4, now potentially in Game 5 of Games 3 and Game 4, because he had to shoulder so much of the burden, less in Game 4, but still plenty. So, yeah, it'll be exciting to see.
This crowd is just completely insane by all the reports. Really wish I were in the building for this one. And they've got the watch party at Oracle. Those fans desperately wanting them to get back for a Game 6, which would be for sure the last game in that building. And what do you think? They're going to run the first play for KD?
I would guess so. I mean, that's kind of been Kerr doesn't do that as much as... Oh, Durant is jumping center per Anthony Slater.
Yeah.
Which is not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one else who's really fit to do it. Another guy to watch, too, in terms of the fatigue level, the minutes level, is Andre Iguodala. He played 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is way more than Steve Kerr wants him playing. So, yeah, KD going to jump it up here against Marc Gasol. Presumably, Kawhi is going to have the matchup on him. So where are they going to put Gasol? Probably, I'm guessing they're going to go Gasol on Iguodala and Siakam on Draymond, and we'll see how much the Raptors do some switching early. That was not a good toss. Oh, and Gasol did it's like KD kind of ran into Gasol a little bit. Is he okay? I think he is. They'll re-jump it.
Look at it.
And KD won the tap, but Gasol went after it afterwards. So it's Iguodala guarding Lowry. Curry is on Danny Green as expected. KD has the matchup on Siakam. Siakam trying to go at KD right away. Nowhere to go whatsoever. Swings it to Lowry, and what are they going to get here? 3 seconds?
They call it
travel. So a good start defensively, and defensively, the Warriors being able to switch more. We'll see if they go to that early, but that, I think, can take away some of the superior passing that Toronto has had. So KD's in the near corner to start us off here. Steph coming off the screen from Draymond. He's open. The three-pointer is good. 3-0 Golden State lead as Siakam a little late getting out there. Danny Green, now they swing it to Gasol, looking to get Leonard involved. Thompson has the matchup on him. Thompson may have committed the foul. Gasol on the roll. Tough fadeaway, and that goes down. That's the type of shot that Marc Gasol, those shots are really the bellwethers for the Toronto Raptors offensively in a lot of ways. KD with his first touch. Looks like he's taking it pretty easy to start with. Here's the cut from Thompson. His tough fader does not drop.
And Iguodala goes for the offensive rebound a little bit behind the play. We'll see if that affects it.
Here's Siakam. No foul from Draymond. Warriors with a 5-on-4 looking to push it. Swing it to Steph Curry. Right under the lane and scores. And Siakam missing that layup leading to an easy Warriors basket. Their offense looks much better so far. Another change in the matchups for Toronto. Kyle Lowry now has to guard Klay Thompson. Thompson has the size advantage there. Here's Leonard, stripped by Iguodala. 4-on-3. Iguodala looking for someone to run with him. KD is already exhausted. He's not even back in the play yet. Curry now looking for him. KD loads up. Yes! Durant definitely not looking at his sharpest, not looking to attack. But if he can make those kind of shots, he makes a huge difference for this team. Lowry, they do switch this, lob it into Gasol. Here's KD with the help, and he commits the foul.
Yeah, just got there a little bit late. And first free throws of this game.
And not a very aggressive switch by Golden State. It looked like they kind of remembered to switch late almost, but Gasol did well to set that screen, get inside position off the switch on Iguodala, and that enabled him to get to the foul line. Foul trouble could be an issue for KD as well. Being tired, you're going to foul more. You're not going to get into position as much. Yeah, I mean, I do think that you're going to see a lot of subtle ways that they're protecting KD. Like, he's not even boxing out on these free throws, for example. And, his cardio is a real question. How much is he really able to do with that calf injury? Missed free throw. Oh, Leonard gets the offensive rebound. Siakam, as KD gets back into the play nicely. Now Gasol, he shoots it over Thompson. He was wide open, and a terrible second chance point given up by Draymond Green. He did not get a good enough box out on Leonard, and those claw hands getting him right back into it early. Here's Thompson into the lane. Iguodala, now Draymond swings it. Curry's going to be open in the near side corner. Instead, KD just shoots it instead over Leonard. 2 straight three-pointers for KD. They missed that guy a little bit.
Yeah, he might have another shooting outlet.
He has now made more three-pointers than every non-Clay and Steph player made in Game 4.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Thompson called for his first, another cheapie, as Leonard tried to post up. And very interesting here to watch Kawhi now guarding KD. We have seen that he has not been the same defensive player on the ball on perimeter guys. Now KD trying not to foul on Kawhi. Into the lane. KD keeps it alive, but it's going to stay with the Raptors here. The rebounding will be very interesting as well here. Golden State traditionally not great rebounding out of this lineup. Toronto not great on their defensive glass either, but have had some selective offensive rebounds. So yeah, Warriors switching off the ball. You see it called out. Draymond out there. Here's the double on Gasol from Thompson. He missed Siakam open under the rim. Leonard stepping through beautifully. Got the strip from Iguodala and recovers for the layup.
And Danny Green picking up Steph Curry at three-quarter court just like he did. I think that was starting in Game 3.
Iguodala, and he gets stripped. And I put that on Iguodala for not getting back into the play fast enough. Now Draymond gets his own steal. Golden State so much better defensively with KD out there. Thompson in the post. Size advantage on Lowry. They don't want to double here, though. Here's Iguodala looking for Steph. Into the post, Draymond, backdoor, Steph lays it in. This is the beautiful game again for the Warriors. You don't have the ability to help off of Kevon Looney or Alfonso McKinney, and those backdoors are available once again. Kawhi looking for Danny Green, steps back to three-point range and drains it. And high-quality basketball here early.
And that's only the second three-point attempt for the Raptors, but they've gotten more around the basket overall.
Steph guarded by Kawhi. Klay Thompson shooting over Lowry, and he drains that. And there's the advantage of having Klay guarded by Lowry. If he has even an inch of space, he can just rise up knowing that Lowry can't affect his shot. Lowry has to be right on his body. Here's Siakam, blows past KD, and that's where KD, even in the best of times, can be caught napping. Here's Thompson off the back screen. Looking to back down on Lowry. Thompson gets stripped by Lowry. Draymond recovers. Now Thompson will take the wide open three off the Draymond pass. And Golden State, is that 5 for 5 from downtown
now? It is 5 for 5. And Kyle Lowry there leaked out like he'd gotten this, like somebody had gotten the steal, but nobody did, and that's why Klay was so open.
Draymond with a quick double off Gasol. They don't make him pay for that. They'll reset now. Kawhi denied by Iguodala. Pick and roll coming here. Gasol tries to slip it. And Thompson did not get back early enough.
And that's
he's
going
to pick up his second. And the Raptors, Marc Gasol has been outstanding. Twice now he's gotten the advantage off the switch, setting big hard screens, getting inside position, and then rolling to the basket. He knows how to play against this switching defense.
And for those who have listened to this, who've listened to our podcast or read my work at The Athletic for years, Klay Thompson is notoriously bad at playing with fouls. And in this circumstance, yeah, he did make 2 free throws instead of a 2-point shot, but now he's in foul trouble for the rest of this quarter at bare minimum.
Gasol hitting the first free throw. Kerr, a long talk with Thompson, but I think he's going to keep him in the game with Golden State having a 6-point advantage. And looks like we're going to get the patented between free throws Steve Kerr timeout. And I'm going to get a patented cold water because I'm sweating like crazy here.
Are we going to NBA cast the draft? No. There are a couple of different reasons why. A big one being that Nate and I will only spend real time with the first 6 or so people in the draft, and then there isn't really much else to do. And also because we have to get our thoughts together for recording and all that kind of stuff. So it's an idea that somebody could do who has a deeper knowledge going further in the draft, but also a lot of those people have written requirements and everything else like Sam has, and he'll hopefully do Real Jam Radio as well. Are these injuries severely undermining Toronto's perception? It seems like people are thinking they'd have no chance if Durant wasn't hurt. I don't know. I also don't particularly care, because it's such a nebulous thing to prove. But I'm sure there are people who will and are underrating the Raptors and their success because of it. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. But they're an excellent team. They are the best defense the Warriors have played, and their offense has been better than I anticipated. We'll see if that continues. Klay should never go for a block or steal. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's a decent way of putting it, just because at least not when he's on the precipice of foul trouble. Quick temperature check. Who wins this game? So let's see. It's 6-point lead. I had the Raptors as slight favorites in this game going in. 6-point lead, but KD's going to play a lower proportion of what he had. I'm going to say Raptors still barely favorites right now. Barely. It's a tough call, though. People in the Bay don't have AC. Yeah, that's broadly true. Especially not in the parts of the Bay Area that aren't further, that have a reputation for being hot. Like, you go out to Danville and places like that. They probably do, but not here.
Yeah. Yeah, Oakland, Berkeley, SF don't have AC. If you go further south in the peninsula or further east, you'll get it. So I'm very interested to see where KD is still in after this.
So somebody asked, who is the favorite to win the game right now?
Oh, you got to say Golden State with a 6-point lead.
Yeah.
The 2 fouls on Klay ain't great for them, but yeah, and also very interesting to just see the way KD is being used. If he is going to be pretty limited, which it looks like right now, he hasn't tried to attack at all yet. He's kind of been behind a few plays. But him making those first 2 spot-up threes is exactly what you want. Even if he's limited, they're going to be sticking to him like glue now.
Absolutely. And important that even though the Raptors only have 1 made 3, the Danny Green one was a long 2, not a 3, that they were made by 2 of their less consistent players in terms of attempts and shots. Marc Gasol made the 3, Danny Green with that long 2. So we'll see how that affects the Warriors' defense of those 2 players.
Yeah, you know what Golden State's offensive rating now is? 211.
Oh, that's pretty good.
19 points on 9 possessions. Gasol with the second free throw. KD does stay on the floor. Iguodala first to the bench with Looney in the game. But that doesn't change too much for Golden State in terms of the spacing.
Did ABC really change the clock again?
It'll go back, we hope. Looney looking to set up that cyclone play for Draymond Green, and the Raptors just completely sniffed that out. Here's Draymond, swings it. He'll take the 3 instead of passing to KD, and it'll go back to Toronto, with 5 on the clock, I thought they could have swung it one more there.
I'm guessing he was cognizant of Kawhi closing out, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have KD take a contested 3 than Draymond take an open one.
But that's unbelievable defense from the Raptors. They totally blew up that Warriors cyclone play that they were trying to run that time. They're going to screen for Kawhi on the weak side. Draymond now has the individual matchup against Kawhi with Thompson on 2 fouls. That's going to hurt the Warriors' help defense quite a bit, as Thompson is not a good help defender. And Kawhi blowing past Draymond, blew the layup though, but Gasol keeping it alive, and it'll remain Raptor ball.
And not only do the Raptors have 2 credited offensive rebounds, they have 2 team offensive rebounds at this point as well. At least 2.
Those have really, and again, the boards, physicality, as there's Green getting inside on Thompson and getting the easy layup. We didn't see exactly how it was that developed because they cut back to it late. Here's Green, ripped up by Kawhi, but it goes right back to Klay. Backdoor Steph past Danny Green. Oh, Kawhi got the steal easily. Pushing it now, 3-on-2. Siakam behind the defense, rejected by KD. And now Thompson pushing it back. Siakam behind the play. Looney's got to make a play here. He finds Steph, and nope. Steph was trying to cut back door, and then he faked out his own man, Looney. And that's twice Looney has failed as a playmaker.
Going back briefly to the Kawhi steal, that was him playing Curry as a passer, not a finisher. He didn't think Curry was going to take the shot. He was correct, got the steal.
Here's Gasol slipping again, and another foul. Marc Gasol is killing Golden State now with those slips. So Golden State is trying to switch, and Marc Gasol has just been too cagey. Excellent pass there from Leonard.
And I believe that was the Warriors' 4th team foul, so that means the Raptors would be shooting the rest of the way.
Couple empty possessions for Golden State. Raptors right back into it now, trailing by only 3. As KD getting a quick break here. Want to see if he comes back before the end of the quarter. You imagine that he would, especially if it gets away from them a little bit here. Here's Lowry. Leonard swinging it to Gasol. Another open 3 for the Raptors. That's off, though. Thompson keeps it alive nicely. Gives it to Livingston. And you figure the longer this game goes, as there's a nice pass by Livingston under to Thompson, and oh man, the Raptors' hands have been unbelievable defensively. That was the time it was Gasol. More fast break. Leonard lays it in and one, and I think they're going to get Looney with a shove from behind. Golden State is fouling like crazy here.
Something else to put a pin in here, because Durant had this early rest, and Andre Iguodala has his normal rest. The person who would normally be guarding Kawhi here will be Klay, but he has 2 fouls. So Kerr is back in the same trouble that he was in Game 4 of just not having somebody he wants guarding Kawhi on the floor.
Yeah, because it's got to really, Draymond's the only one who can handle him. And Looney, he tried to foul him intentionally there, and Kawhi just went right through him. So Toronto now tying it. They have withstood the early rush here for the Warriors, and the longer this game goes, you would think the better off Toronto is going to be. They have had the advantage late in games. Here's Curry, backdoor, switched onto nicely by Gasol, but now he's going to get a wide open corner 3. Late close by the Raptors, and Green couldn't corral the rebound. I thought it was going to be wide open, and they covered so much ground so quickly to get there and still get a decent contest. I think that's now 4 straight empty trips for Golden State. Make it 5. Here's Lowry, faking Curry. Here's Gasol. Man, this offense for Toronto has been fantastic. Steve Kerr is going to get a timeout, and this is 9-0 for Toronto here.
And Marc Gasol, 10 points in 7 minutes and stuck on the floor defensively. Huge stretch for him.
Yeah, Warriors kind of back into their old offense now without KD on the floor. Screen. Curry looking to create space. Does so against Siakam. Drains it going to his left. Siakam has the size advantage on Livingston. I think we can look at that. Now they switch this. Double team going to come here if Siakam makes progress towards the goal. Goes baseline. Trapped up. Swings it out to Gasol. No advantage gain there. They switch back off the ball. Lowry is open. Here's the drive. Leonard stepping back. Switched onto by Looney. He goes into the lane. Siakam. 1 on the shot clock. And
Big
another
shot.
one of those crazy late clock Raptors shots, giving them, again, a 2-point advantage. Ooh, that could have been a steal very easily. Lazy pass from Curry. Thompson looking backdoor. He's got help behind him. Finally hands off. That is a deep 3 from Thompson. Oh, just spins out. Siakam looking to push it again. Looking to pick up a third on Thompson. Double team coming from Looney. Step through from Siakam. No good. Klay looking a little tired here now.
A lot of the guys are looking tired right now.
Draymond, and they're going to get a blocking foul on Kyle Lowry.
And that's the first foul for any Toronto Raptors so far in this game.
Yeah, Golden State generally not a high foul producing team.
Yeah, and there was a chance that would change with Kevin Durant on the floor, but with this Kevin Durant, it's probably going to be toned down more than a little bit.
Yeah, so this would normally be about when Klay Thompson would sit. Iguodala has returned, and in fact, Thompson has sat. So look for the box and one here now from Nick Nurse. They did it a couple possessions in the third quarter of Game 3. Not in it yet here. Curry off a Looney screen. He's open. Wide open, in fact. Not there. Tried to draw the foul, and he did. He did draw the foul. Let's see if we can catch it here. Curry got called for an offensive foul.
That looked like high five to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn late after the shot to call a foul. Let's see if we can catch it here. Yeah, I mean, he hits him pretty hard there.
He hits him on the arm, but I mean,
that's pretty darn incidental. I mean, that's I don't really see Van Vliet doesn't gain any kind of an advantage from that contact. But 3 free throws for Curry. Those free throws drying up for him in Game 4 was a big part of why he wasn't nearly as effective as in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Curry was called for an offensive foul in that situation in Game 4.
With the kick of his right leg. And look at that. Nick Nurse going to the Steve Kerr timeout between free throws, between the second and third in that iteration.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that works on Steph Curry. It didn't work on Marc Gasol.
Yeah, I think Steph's at 94% in these playoffs, something like that.
Interested to see whether KD is going to come back now or they'll wait until the end of the quarter.
What type of contract do you see Austin Rivers getting offered this offseason? It's a good question. He's a player. There's a group of about 10 guys. It would be an interesting podcast segment if we happen to have any free ones that I'm having a lot of trouble calibrating his market. My instinct is less than the mid-level, but potentially more than the minimum if he's willing to go to a less favorable situation, which maybe he is. I mean, Rivers has been on competitive teams. He's been on bad teams at this point, so maybe he can make whatever choice he wants, and I think it'll be like for many guys where it's the more desirable situations don't have the flexibility to give him as much money. Yeah, I'll move the clock, but I have to do it once we get back because it's...
Yeah, they move it around all the time.
Yeah, ABC has moved it twice during this game. I adjusted it, then I adjusted it again.
Yeah, maybe we can just zoom it out or something.
Yeah, I guess I could. I already did once, so I can do it again. What should Knicks fans be rooting for here in terms of KD? My instinct is that if the Warriors... I don't know. I think I've been outside of the norm here that, like, if my thought has been if the Warriors win another championship, that he's like, I've done all I can do and would want to be somewhere else. I think you're of the mind that if that nobody leaves winning teams like that.
I mean, after winning 3 straight. I mean, but, it's funny because maybe he'll feel closer about being part of a heroic comeback if they do win it. I don't know. Let's see here. Adjustments that we've seen. The Warriors are switching everything really for the first time in this series, and they haven't been tight enough on it. Gasol has been great at it, but the guy who's switching off the ball has got to get underneath him, and also whoever is guarding Gasol when he sets the screen has got to kind of give Gasol a little bit of a shove before he switches onto the ball handler so that the guy who's on the ball handler can switch onto Gasol and get underneath him. Sounds like we're in a wind tunnel. Yeah, we need the fans here. Sorry.
How have these playoffs changed your view of Siakam's potential moving forward? I don't know that they have that much. His offensive game still needs some work. We saw in the Philly series that his in-between game still needs some development, but we knew that going in, and defensively he's done well. So I don't think it's changed too much. Okay, I'll take a look at this now.
Yeah, maybe just zoom it out as much as we can, so if they move it around, we'll still have it.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Curry with a third free throw coming now to give Golden State the lead once again. I'm interested to see, Danny, if we see a single second from DeMarcus Cousins.
I'm guessing he'll be out to start the second unit.
Maybe. I mean, they Green and Looney maybe can give them all of the center minutes. We'll see how many minutes Looney can play. So KD is back. He's guarding now Kyle Lowry. They did not switch that back screen. Now they're going to switch as they get into the real action. Lowry fading away on Looney. That's not there. KD with the nice box out on his former teammate Ibaka. A little bit of a ugly outlet pass. Let's see if they're going to go to KD now. Leonard is still in the game, and KD is just heading down to the opposite corner. Looney, who has not been good handling the ball here. They're late clock already. Finally, they get into something, and a hold is called on Van Vliet as Curry tried to go around the handoff from Draymond. Yeah, and in fact, he did have two hands on his back there.
And Raptors still pretty far from the bonus, from the penalty. Yeah, and that was a grab. That's the correct call. So that's 3 on their team with 3 minutes to go in the quarter.
14 fresh for the Warriors. Curry, Green, loads up his second 3, hits that one. Big shot there for Draymond. It'll probably take 4 more of those before they start guarding him out there.
Yeah,
though.
I think he had 12 attempts in the first 4 games combined.
Siakam looking for Leonard. Iguodala on him. They're going to switch this straight up now. Leonard trying to get past Looney, and he draws the foul. Not a good foul there from Kevon Looney. He had the forearm on Leonard, and you're not going to knock Leonard off of his path anyway, so you might as well get your hands off of him.
Yeah, and he's an excellent free throw shooter too, so you're conceding those 2 points. And maybe even in one, because he didn't stop him from taking the shot. And so these will be the 7th and 8th free throws for the Toronto Raptors. Oh, Kawhi missed it. I'm sure he would have rather missed the second one like that than the first if he had to miss one. But I haven't seen any sort of issues with the free throws that Toronto's gotten. I know there are certain people who think that a free throw disparity is proof of bias. It is not.
Well, and interesting that Toronto only 1 of 3 from downtown. So the Warriors are at least avoiding giving up 3-pointers. Golden State a scorching 6 of 9 from downtown. Their problem has been the turnovers with 4. Screen for KD. Oh, he gets chucked by Lowry. That'll be the 4th team foul. Lowry hands up, but no, that's a pretty obvious foul there.
And so that means both of Toronto's point guards have 2 fouls, and nobody else in their team has a single one. But that gets a little bit dicey here. But
2 on Lowry and 2 on Van Vliet, huh?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's going to really prevent them from being nearly as handsy as they want to. Lowry taking those charges. We'll see whether he can be as effective there. That's the first play really that they've run for KD to try to get him open at the top. So Lowry sits. They're looking for KD. He's got the size advantage on Van Vliet down low as they just switch that action. Now trying to get him into the post. Double team comes immediately. Draymond looking to swing it. Looney has to just throw it up. Not there. And the lack of shooting in this group, as opposed to when Thompson is on the floor, makes it a little harder for KD. I think we'll expect to see those double teams every time he catches in the low post with the size advantage. Now here's Leonard, almost lost it, picks it up with the hands. Here's Draymond caught in the air, and will that be a second on him? Yes. He's claiming that he went straight up, but I think he jumped forward.
Yeah, and when you commit that early and you jump, it's really hard to gain the benefit of the doubt. Like, just as a practical matter, even if he did that perfectly.
He's pretty damn close to straight up there.
But expecting the ref to see, oh yeah, you jumped perfectly straight up.
Yeah, and frankly, he wasn't entirely straight up. So anytime you get caught in the air like that, you're going to get called for it almost invariably.
Yeah, I mean that's part of as much as we get bothered by like flopping and how pernicious it is. The whole point of it is relying on the idea that refereeing is imperfect, and players kind of have to understand that that's the way it works.
Well, and that's not a flop. I mean, you got him in the air.
No, but it's the same idea of like, oh, why didn't you see that perfectly? I was in exactly the right position. It's like, it's hard.
Yeah. By the way, Steph has 12 points on 6 shooting possessions here in the first quarter. So KD's presence has definitely opened things up for him, as we thought. Here they're going to bring KD off the Looney screen into the lane over Ibaka. That's way short, though. And KD may not have had the usual burst as 3 guys surrounded him on that play. That's usually a shot that he drains in his sleep. KD with the matchup on Van Vliet. Van Vliet trying to wrong foot him. They'll switch this. Ibaka posting up. Clears the lane. 10 on the clock now as they go back to Van Vliet. Van Vliet into the lane. Drives it. Leonard is open. Great pass. And can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Ibaka, but it's taken away by KD. Oh, and Ibaka cleared out KD's legs. Hopefully he's all right, and it looks like he is.
Yeah, I think KD's right leg was not planted. I think he was up a little bit, and then that allowed him to slide out.
Well, and that really should be a foul on Ibaka. I'm not sure. That he should probably be shooting free throws there. Yeah, I mean, they do call the loose ball foul. So KD will go to the foul line here, the chance to put in points number 7 and 8. This game has been everything I hoped here in the first quarter. The strategic machinations have been fascinating. I think the Raptors, considering the way Golden State has shot the ball, the Raptors have done everything that you could hope to stay in it so far. Their offense looks very good. The only big thing is they're not getting up the quantity of threes that they've gotten it previously in this series. Powell looking for Van Vliet on the weak side off an Ibaka screen. They'll switch this. Ibaka handed off to Draymond. Close out by Curry on Powell. And just enough by Steph Curry to get out there. He was open because they switched behind the play. Here's KD pulling up over Serge Ibaka. And he's now 3 of 3 from downtown. Kevin Durant still clearly not fully in rhythm, but he's just made such a difference even so. Here's the switch of Looney onto Kawhi, forcing him to the left, picks up his dribble. Van Vliet closed down by Durant, can't get past him to his right. KD, as Van Vliet puts him in the mix, goes for the steal, and what are they going to get here? A reach-in foul on KD. KD with a few comments for Van Vliet. It's one of our first little exchanges of this series. It's been pretty clean so far.
And KD, now with all that time off, he's not even close to the technical foul limit, so he doesn't have to. Remember, there was that drama early in these playoffs. And then both KD and Draymond, for different reasons, haven't really done much. And Kevin Durant talks a lot. So we'll see if any of the Raptors get in on that. We could very well see it. Not Kawhi, but other Raptors.
Yeah, I mean, KD looks as good as you could have hoped, I would say.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I thought the stamina is definitely not all the way there, but in terms of his movement, better than I expected, meaningfully.
So Raps get the 2-for-1 there, just barely. Late in the clock again. They make more magic late in the clock against Golden State. Looks like they're going to bring KD off a Steph screen. Good denial by Leonard. Here's Iguodala looking to push into the lane. Tries to find Draymond in the corner. His third 3 of the quarter. Not there. Curry with the nice offensive rebound. He should run it down here instead into the lane and floats it up and scores. But now Toronto with a chance to answer. 6.6 left. They switch up. KD not getting out on Van Vliet. He loads a 3. Green with the rebound. And this will go into no foul called. And Golden State, by far, their best offensive quarter of the series. 34 points. And they do it on just 23 possessions. Very slow pace, but 148 offensive rating for Golden State. Toronto, no slouches. They had 28 points on 23 possessions, 122 offensive rating themselves.
Leading scorer, Stephen Curry, 14 points on 5 of 6 from the field. 4 of those 5 makes were from 2-point range, also 3 of 3 from the line, that foul on Fred VanVleet. Kevin Durant, 11 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. And then number 3, Marc Gasol, big 10 points in his 8 minutes, including 1 made 3 and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And Kawhi Leonard, 3 offensive rebounds already, and I think he had a hand in one of the 2 team offensive rebounds they had in that first quarter.
Yeah, the Raps staying in it here with 9 of 11 from the foul line. A lot of fouling from Golden State as they allowed penetration, but they are at least taking away the 3-point line. We'll wait for some of the shot chart stuff to come in and answer a couple of questions. The way they shot, they should be further ahead. Not a good sign for Golden State.
Their defense hasn't been.
Well, they had a lot of turnovers too, and they gave up a lot of defense or a lot of offensive rebounds, and they fouled a lot. Yeah, I mean, generally when you go shoot this well from three, you would want to be up by a little more. Their defense has not been particularly impressive so far, but we'll see. I mean, with Gasol out, I think Golden State's defense looked a lot better. The switching worked much better without Gasol in the game.
Someone on Twitch asked about if we are ahead of you. That is a great way to talk about YouTube. If we are ahead of you, then you should check out YouTube because YouTube has a functioning pause button. If you are ahead of us, then hopefully you can slow things down on your end. That could be using a DVR, or there are a couple other ways depending on what way you're watching the game. But if we are ahead of you, YouTube can solve that. Also, should mention patreon.com/DuncanLaRue. Great way to support this. We are not ad-supported. So you can do that. Subscriber-only podcasts, subscriber mailbags, salary cap sheets, text versions of some of the list type stuff we do for the show. So, and whatever else we can think of. So it's always fun.
Lots of lists, baby. That's
well, I mean,
that's
people,
where it's at.
People ask us for text versions of our rankings, so I mean there is value to that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was just kind of funny the way you put it. So Warriors, 7 of 10 from downtown, 9 of those above the break threes, and all of those except for Draymond Green from the combination of Durant, Curry, and Thompson.
The Toronto Raptors, 4 of 8 in the restricted area. A few of those misses have become offensive rebounds. 2 of 4 from floater range, made both of their mid-rangers, and then the Raptors they've missed 5 of their 6 3-point shots, the only make by Marc Gasol, but one of those was a deep 2 that I thought was a 3.
Does the Sixers taking the Raptors 7 change your view of how close they were, or is it just matchup based? That's tough to say in a couple of ways. One, Embiid clearly wasn't healthy. Gasol gave him major problems, but he only had one good offensive game in the series. And then the other part of it, though, is Toronto shot extremely poorly from three-point range in that series. And part of why I picked them to beat the Bucks was because I thought that was going to normalize. So now here's a pretty ugly unit, but KD is out there for Golden State. We'll see if he's able to create a little bit more.
Bogut instead of Cousins.
Looking to create, pulls up on Siakam, not there, not a great shot. But, Bogut recovers after Livingston kept it alive. This is probably going to be a jump ball, and that, in fact, is what it's called. I would have advocated Golden State taking a timeout there. I think anytime you can, although they probably need just the rest from the timeouts more than the Raptors do.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, so KD not really able to create a great look against Siakam, not a ton of shake there for him. Again, I think his explosion to the basket in particular is what's going to be most limited for him if, in fact, he's still feeling that calf, which, the reports were it'd be another week or two for him to come back if this were the regular season. So he may still be feeling it, and we'll see whether he's actually, there's a risk of re-injury or how much he's able to run, really. Ibaka just tips it out of bounds. So that'll remain Golden State ball, although we'll see if Toronto tries to deny the inbound pass here because it's a very difficult section of the court to inbound right in the corner.
How do you feel about Bogut instead of Cousins for these minutes when Marc Gasol's not on the floor?
There's Thompson. Oh, big shot there. Anything they can get with this group is gravy. I feel good about it for Golden State. Cousins just making too many mistakes. Here's Ibaka trying to attack Bogut off the dribble. He cut off nicely. Livingston beaten by Lowry into the lane. Now they got a late switch it. Lowry spinning over that right shoulder. He loves that shot. Oh, Ibaka beasted Livingston for the offensive rebound. He has been an outstanding offensive rebounder in these playoffs when he's tried to hit the glass.
When having both of those guys on more manageable workloads has allowed Ibaka to be more engaged defensively, and that's a foul on him. Siakam,
let's see. Siakam certainly he commits
he pushed with his left arm.
Extremely handsy on the perimeter, but you see that KD. Normally if he's pressured like that, he'll just try to blow by the guy. And, pushing off on that right calf. It looked okay-ish. They get it into Thompson. Off the screen, going at Ibaka. Double team, just pulls it. Oh, man. That is a difficult shot. There's a look at maybe what Klay Thompson might be like in another
I was wondering
system.
if you were going to go to that.
Yeah, but
it is.
off the dribble 3-pointer when you got a double team in there. If you were just more of an every down pick and roll player, who knows how his career might have evolved. Obviously, it's evolved very well in Golden State. So, but the idea of him as a league guy, as here's Ibaka going at Bogut, and Bogut with a bad foul there. And more late clock magic for the Raptors. And
yeah, Bogut just dropped his hands. If you make contact, which he did, they're going to call that foul every time.
Yeah, and with two superstars on the floor right now, well, maybe Thompson is a star, but you would hope that Golden State would have the advantage. But Toronto just kind of scrounging out some points here.
That said, if the Warriors, in the non-Curry Draymond minutes, that those were a real trouble time for them. Yes, they do have two All-Stars on the floor, but that is another way of talking about how the dynamic in the series has shifted. This was a time for the Raptors to just dominate earlier in the series.
Yeah, Bogut just not going straight up there. Serge Ibaka, left-handed jump hook. You probably want to give him that one.
We'll have to see if my old standby of second unit fouls creating problems later on is going to come into play. Both teams only have one so far in the first minute and a half.
Quinn Cook getting his first look here. Thompson. Bogut is open in the middle. They swing it to Cook. He'll drive on Van Vliet into the lane, trying to find Thompson in the corner. What a difficult shot in the corner from Thompson. It's off. Nice box out by Ibaka. I thought Cook had a chance there. Now Lowry pushing it in transition. Backs off Thompson, and he loves shooting, going to his left like that. KD going to bring it up. He's looking for someone to give it to here. This is a bad idea to have him bring the ball up. There's no reason to waste his energy with this. KD getting Ibaka on the switch. Tries to go between his legs. Oh, and he hurt the calf again. Oh, no. He hurt the calf again. That's it. That is just terrible. And they should not have had him in that role. Like, there's no reason that they should have had him on the floor doing that. Like, it just was so not smart. You know what he's not capable of doing, and he's done for the series. Unbelievable. And that said, if he heard it like that, it probably was just going to go.
It was going to happen at some point.
Yeah, but they're putting him in an impossible. Yeah, that's the move right there. Yeah, that's that push back, and he knew it right away. Put that push back way behind you. That's how he heard it initially. I said before the game, watch out, making moves like that. That's how he's going to re-injure it. And they shouldn't have put him in a position. They should have said, hey, I guess if he's cleared, you don't want to say, all right, we have limitations on you, but throw him in the post, have him be a spot-up shooter, make a couple of moves, and credit to Siakam, too. His pressure forcing him to make a move that he wasn't comfortable with, and that's how he gets the re-injury. And this is why, you don't come back. And, hey, guess what? All those people who were saying, like, what a pussy he was for not coming back, well, don't you guys look like complete morons now, don't you?
Well, and also think about how the effects this has, not in terms of his like free agent contract or anything, but the structure of his summer. Now he's going to have to spend a meaningful portion of that recovering. He's probably going to have to do that anyway, but if he re-injured it, whether it's like a little tweak or something else, it's, granted, he's not at the age where, it's like, oh, I'm developing a massive new thing in my game, but it affects the way he recovers and the stamina and everything else.
Yeah, this is why I always said this. I said this on Dunked On yesterday. When you question someone for not coming back when you think they should be coming back, yeah, I think they probably know, and the medical staff probably knows better than you do. And you know what? His teammates are a bunch of assholes too for questioning him, frankly. Who questioned him? I don't know. All of these stories with whispers about how the Warriors were frustrated he wasn't coming back. Amick had a column on that. Kawakami had a column on that. I know some other reporters were thinking of writing that because sources within the Warriors organization were saying that to them, players on the team. So There's there are plenty of articles that said that the Warriors and his teammates were frustrated with him not being back.
Yeah, and people and sometimes I think some who aren't in media think that when a columnist, when somebody writes an article like that there's speculation. A lot of times that's just background stuff that they get from people that they can't do. Yeah. It's like there is sourcing behind that. It's just not used in that context because that would create problems.
Yeah, at least the reporters that I know, you know, all right, if it's like there are some maybe who might like kind of make stuff up or extrapolate or have an opinion themselves about it, but reporters get things because they're told things by people on background.
Yes.
So this just sucks. And Warriors have a 5-point lead now, but we're right back to the same series we had. Raptors are huge favorites now. The Warriors are going to be so deflated. Yeah, I mean, and credit to Siakam again. Like, this is him pressuring up on KD, and that's what you do. You're not going to take it easy on a guy who's injured in the finals.
Absolutely not.
And again, I really question, as Cousins is going to come in now to try and give him some more scoring, I really question that the idea of just putting him in that situation where he has to bring the ball up. Like, having had that injury, there's just no reason that he should ever be in a position where he's got to push off way behind him explosively to try and attack. It was just dumb to utilize him that way. And, you know, maybe he felt like he could do it. Here's Cousins on the drive going into two guys. He finally finishes one. An extremely awkward finish, which, you know, that's the only kind DeMarcus has at this point in time. Lowry against Thompson. Forced baseline. And what are they going to call her? He step out? Yeah.
And also now things like Klay Thompson's foul trouble becomes a much bigger question. Draymond Green's foul trouble becomes... And I believe that was Ibaka that was pressuring him on that play. Yeah, that's Ibaka, not Pascal Siakam.
Here's Livingston missing the floater. Oh, yeah, it was Ibaka who switched on. But yeah, Siakam was the one who was pressuring him full court.
Full
so
court.
Warriors,
Yeah, you're right.
Warriors staying with the full switching here with Kawhi out of the game. Here's Ibaka fading away on Thompson. They'll take that shot every time. So we'll see if the Warriors stick with the full switch here now. With Kawhi out of the game, it obviously gets much easier. Cousins, pick and roll. Lowry trying to take the charge. McKinney not even thinking about the corner three. That's the difference between him and KD. Obviously, here's Cousins trying to go at Ibaka. Two nice finishes now from Cousins. That is massive to get finishing in the lane from him. Siakam back to goal. Double teamed. Swing it around. Oh, the steal by Livingston. Cook running the floor. Livingston finding Thompson. Here's a three from Cook. He's got to make these. And a rebound from Cousins as Ibaka called for the loose ball foul. Cousins giving them huge minutes here early on. Maybe something about playing on the road. And in fact, in the regular season, Denny, he played much better on the road than he did at home.
And incidentally, the Warriors at various moments in their tenure have done the same thing. Cousins there, it looked like it might have been one of those dark arts thing where he was grabbing Serge Ibaka's arm, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a replay of it.
Yeah, well, if you got position and you're bigger, then you get the benefit of the doubt there.
Yep.
Now Kawhi is back. Cousins with the screen. Double team comes. Thompson missed Cousins on the roll. Almost a steal. Cousins going to feel it for three after making a couple. Woo! DeMarcus. 7 straight points. Golden State up 11. Now Siakam going at DeMarcus, and he's got the easy drive, but he blew the layup, gets it right back, and McKinney has gone down here. Hopefully he's okay. Nice recovery by Siakam. Thompson in the post against Lowry. Lowry shoving him in the back. No call is made, and it goes to the Raptors. Thompson wanted it. And now a shove from Livingston. The exact same call, I'm sure the Warriors will note, that they did not get on the other end.
I think it's probably fortunate for Klay Thompson's technical status that he was far away from that second foul call, because he would have gone crazy. Because it was basically the same play.
Yeah, and if Cousins, getting a couple of layups, he felt more confidence with the three. Remember in New Orleans, his last year in Sacramento, he was an excellent three-point shooter, has not had the touch at all. He hit one, I think it was in game one, wasn't it? And But if he can make that shot, it takes away a lot of the defensive strategy for Toronto. So Curry and Green have returned. They swing it. Here's Gasol in the corner. Cousins getting out on him. 6 on the clock. Can the Raptors get some more late clock magic here? Lowry trying to create. Goes into 2 guys. Tried to draw the foul. Could not. And what are they going to get here? Looks like a shove on Gasol on Cousins.
Yes, that is what the call was. So that is the first foul on Marc Gasol, third team foul on the Raps in this quarter.
Do you favor the Raptors in this game still with a 9-point Golden State advantage?
9
looking
nine
to
is a
screen
lot.
for Livingston. Cousins rolling. Green trying to dunk on Gasol. Gasol maybe fouled him there. Green, I don't know if he tried to lay it off the glass, but it happened to go in. Looked like he was going to try and dunk on him. And now Lowry, now they're going to get a timeout here. He does that, call the timeout in the middle of the floor so they can pick the side. So, 11-point game now. I mean, this Cousins with another nice play there out of the pick and roll. And they've been utilizing Cousins in the pick and roll right now, which has been a big factor. We'll see whether he can continue to produce like this, but not where they are expecting to get contributions, that's for sure.
People are asking about prognosis on the duration for Durant. I don't get enough. It looks like it was calf and not Achilles or anything like that to me. So, I mean, could take some time, but I don't know. We'll find that out soon enough. Looking for questions. Oh, okay, apparently Slater, or did you retweet that, the Slater internal pressure thing? I'm gonna look.
What was it?
I'm gonna.
No, I just tweeted my own,
Okay.
my
Your
own
own
version
tweet.
of my rant.
Let's see. Does this injury make it more likely Durant returns? I don't think it affects things one way or the other. I guess because it makes it less likely that the Warriors win the series, then it affects it however that would, but I don't have a feel for that.
Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on Twitter a little bit here. Who gets
he's not the only way Kevin Durant opts in. I mean, he's still getting a full max contract no matter what. This isn't that type of injury, and he's Kevin Durant.
He didn't tear his Achilles.
The only way that he opts in is to, and I wrote about this at the Athletic Bay Area if you want to read it months ago, is an opt-in and trade to a team that wouldn't have the cap space to sign him outright and couldn't do a sign and trade. So, like, theoretically, let's say he and Kyrie wanted to play together, but they'd rather do it in Boston. That is possible. It would just be an opt-in and trade. But that's how he opts in. It's not to stay on the Warriors.
You guys are 15 seconds ahead of your TV. Yeah, watch on YouTube, and then you can pause it.
Yep.
That's why we have that. If you had to guess what team gets Anthony Davis, I think Woj said something along the lines of, I got to catch up on this. I didn't have a chance to yet. So, maybe on TV that the Lakers are like the leaders in the clubhouse for AD right now. Did you see that?
I heard that. I haven't seen it on Twitter, but I'm guessing he had an opportunity to be on TV before that. And it was kind of underappreciated maybe at the time that them getting the 4th pick, even though they didn't move, once they got, we knew they were in the top 4. That is significantly better of a draft resource than they had at the deadline, and that we expected them to have even after before the lottery. So that is a big asset thing, and there was some reporting from Woj. I did read the piece earlier in the day about Griffin kind of trying to make a larger deal because he might not want all of the Lakers' pieces. We'll see if that's possible.
All right, now they're trying to post up Gasol at Cousins, but they take that away instead. Now Gasol looking for that split cut action out of the corner for Kawhi. Good job by the Warriors topsiding that. Gasol throws it away. He said he got hit by Cousins. Now Curry into the lane. Thompson, tough three, rejected by the left hand of Kawhi Leonard. I mean, that's to even take that shot for one and then to get it blocked for another. I mean, that's just completely insane by Kawhi.
And Clay doesn't do it very much. That would have been maybe an opportunity to pump fake, but Kawhi had a pretty solid base. He got out there quickly enough that he wasn't scrambling.
Behind the back, Thompson to Cousins, now trying to swing it. Curry off the screen, closed down by Van Vliet and Gasol. Here's Livingston, swing it to Cousins. Cousins trying to find Livingston in the post. Gasol coming down to help. Fade away from Livingston off the side of the backboard. Here's Cousins, has to shoot it quickly. Oh, he's stopped by Lowry, and now Lowry is going to just put it in easily. Great defense by the Raptors on that possession. They're going after Kawhi again with the pick and roll, but instead they want to run the split cut action. Here's Draymond with the hook on Van Vliet. Goes into three guys. Curry is wide open, though Lowry lost him. And this is going to be a 4-point play opportunity for Steph Curry.
And Van Vliet, that time, it looked to me like the call was correct. He was just a little overzealous, probably a little mad at himself that he got out there late and made some body contact. We'll see it here.
Is that 3 on Van Vliet now?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's more than obvious.
Yeah. Contact, landing zone, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and the Warriors could easily win this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have a 12-point lead, 13-point lead.
You know, they're not
heavy favorites.
Yeah, I mean, and if they won this game and KD were back and playing, then I think it might really be like, okay, you might say the Warriors would be close to a 50% chance of winning the series. If, you know, especially if they continue to play as well as they did, as Kawhi with a beautiful floater along the baseline.
I hope Chris Herring noted that Iguodala lost the shoe there.
Curry, they swing it. Now he's got it back, looking for Draymond, trying to hand off. Curry can't create space on Green. Instead, Thompson with an impossible shot over Lowry that does not go down, and this could be a foul on Cousins.
I would say so. I mean, it looked like he got the ball somewhat close to cleanly, but it was such a reckless swipe at it that it's a tough call to give him.
So key section here: if Golden State can go in with a 10-point lead, they might feel like favorites in this game, but I'm not willing to put them there yet. They may want to go back to Looney here soon. I'm not sure the Cousins magic is going to continue for too long. Cousins trying to help out Leonard, fouled by Iguodala, and I did not see really any contact there. Maybe it was the left arm of Iguodala, but Andre is saying that Kawhi wrapped him around with the left arm instead. But Kawhi is starting to work here now. But now really is where Steph Curry is going to have to start cooking. With Van Vliet out of the game, he should have a decent matchup. Part of the problem with Cousins, too, is he's not in tune with Thompson and Curry as a screener.
Yeah, that was a big problem in Game 4.
And so really, I think going back to Looney is probably the play here. Maybe you can throw DeMarcus back out there again if you're going to struggle to score. But this is, you know, they got a nice stretch from him, and you know, be happy with that. Curry looking for Cousins, instead it's Draymond. And you just see how there's no space at all for the whole team. And Curry saying that it hit Green's foot, but instead it's going to be Toronto ball. But yeah, when they get in the lane, there's no space now. I mean, people were like, oh, like, is 4 All-Stars not enough for him? Like, yeah, when you don't have enough shooting, it doesn't matter. Cousins looking to push it up after the Lowry miss. Draymond behind his back to Iguodala, looking to create space for Clay, but no one really moving. Instead, it's Curry looking to post up Cousins. Curry can't draw the foul. Iguodala, his first 3 of the game, in and out. Cousins on the offensive glass. Oh, I thought he got fouled there too, but he puts it in. Cousins making the effort on the offensive glass. We haven't seen him dominate on the offensive glass since early in his career. Leonard, stripped by Iguodala, gets it back, rejected by Cousins. Recovers again.
What hands? That's crazy.
The fake, and now they've still got 10 to go at him. Lowry wrong foots Thompson in the lane. Siakam's corner 3 over DeMarcus. Not there. Lowry keeping it alive. All these offensive rebounds are killing the Warriors right now. Siakam has the size advantage. Double team comes. Warriors are exhausted. Lowry looking to go at Green. Oh, and Green called for the foul. He can't believe it. And everyone is going crazy wanting a technical on him. And I'd love to show you, try and see the replay, but my DirecTV cut out for a second. So is that going to be 3 on
That's
Draymond
That's 3
now?
on Draymond. And the Warriors didn't go to the glass once a shot went up. There was just whoever was around would go for it, and that created...
I mean, Kawhi's got like 97 offensive rebounds in the first half. Yeah, and that's a foul. He's got his arm forward. Lowry jumps into it. It's me a technical on Green, of course. And I don't think Kerr can afford to rest him here, do you?
No.
I mean, now... The desperate aspect of Kerr's coaching, I'm not sure how much you want to stick with that. I mean, in theory, they do have 3 games to win in this series, right? So now Lowry with a couple of free throws.
And so now they can cut it to 8. And Green is staying in the game, as we both expected. Oh, and so now he's 1 away. I brought it up earlier in the game. He's 1 away from the 1-game suspension.
Yeah, and that one's not going to get rescinded.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, well, this could be the last game, so. Lowry missing the second free throw. See if they can get some more pick and roll with Curry going here. Oh, he just lost it.
That's over and back.
Yeah.
Good call.
Curry, and just this relentless pressure from the Raptors has been a major problem. Now they're going to say, let's see if Green actually hits it here. No, Curry just lost it.
No, he just lost it. The pressure made him.
That's a backcourt. And the relentless pressure from the Raptors here has just forced the Warriors into a ton of turnovers in this series. Leonard going to go at Cousins and pick and roll. First time we've seen this now. Leonard creates the space, stepping through. Tough shot. Nice defense by Cousins. Leonard goes down. Warriors looking to push it. They've got Curry on the left side. Instead, the drop to Cousins. He lays it up, and he'll go to the foul line. The lack of explosion from DeMarcus, I mean, he's getting like 3 inches off the ground on some of these finishes, but that time got the foul call.
And that is Marc Gasol's second free throw. Second foul, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong down. Yeah, and that was one of the first of those Draymond Green real, get up and go after a rebound plays in the last couple games, partially because Toronto has defended them so well that the opportunity, like the benefit of them is muted right now compared to what it was in the Portland series, let's say.
Yeah, Toronto's transition defense has been solid. Cousins missing 2 free throws. Looks like they're going to try and go back to that split cut. Instead, Gasol just jacks the 3 on DeMarcus, and Kerr's going to get a timeout here. Yeah.
Marc Gasol, 2 for 2 from 3. Every other Raptor, 0 for 6.
Yeah, and Gasol has been unbelievable tonight so far. And this is exactly, a 10-point lead for Golden State. Maybe they could get over the deflation of losing KD. But now, with it down to 6, and Cousins, those 2 missed free. I mean, this has been a huge stretch, right? All those offensive rebounds, the 2 missed free throws from Cousins, and then he just gave up a 3 by kind of being asleep. But usually, in his defense, Gasol usually isn't that aggressive, but Marc is feeling it tonight. Everyone always says Golden State can't play Draymond at the 5 without Durant. Why is McKinney at the 4 such a non-starter? He can't shoot and he can't switch. I mean, and
he can't play help defense either. Like he can't protect the rim or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's no advantage. Like, Looney is just a better player than him.
Yeah.
So you could play Draymond at the 4, at the 5, but Looney is just better, both switching defensively and probably as an offensive player even.
Somebody asked about the Raptors' defense. Well, the fouling, they had the 8th lowest opponent free throw attempt rate. I believe they had a fair number of court fouls, but they can be handsy. Some of their best players, especially Pascal Siakam, is very handsy.
That KD injury is just such a bummer, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're back here. Looney has replaced Cousins. This is the Warriors' best lineup. Curry off a screen. Nice job by Danny Green shooting the gap. But Danny Green is going to get called for a foul, and Golden State will get more free throws here. I mean, that Steph Curry drawing bullshit free throws, Danny, is going to be just a huge part of the rest of this game. As weird as that is to say.
And that
is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's a variant of the Chris Paul one. Chris Paul
Yeah.
does it more when he's dribbling, but doing it as a shooting foul is more effective, probably.
Yeah, well,
it's more irritating.
Well, and here's the thing: that should be a non-shooting foul.
Yeah.
Like he feels the contact and then he decides to shoot. Now they're in the bonus anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But-
it's the kind of the equivalent of a rip through with your butt. But okay, so I guess now with Van Vliet on 3
yeah.
fouls.
Oh, and by the way, KD didn't tear his Achilles again. Like he's able to walk and actually move his foot.
Yeah, like he walked basically to the edge of the court by himself, and then he got help.
Iguodala, as they're trying to switch again, Gasol tries to drive, and they're going to give a foul. Is this Iguodala here? Yeah, and you see Iguodala, he got elbowed by Gasol, and then he just decided, well, I'm just going to foul. I mean, it's not good poise by him, as Looney is got trucked again. I mean, Golden State is just, they're out of gas, man. This would be an incredible win for them, but even if they can pull this out, it's hard to see them getting beyond, certainly winning the series now. And I mean, KD is clearly done for the series. Like, there's no way he's going to be back. Warriors now have committed 15 personal fouls in this first half. That's been a major problem, and the three-point line has not been a huge problem for them as it has been all series, but the Raptors getting a lot of penetration. I mean, some of these fouls in the second have been a little dicier.
Yes.
But Golden State's also gotten a few there as well. Curry, great defense by Green again. Now Curry into the lane. He wanted the foul, didn't get it. Then he deactivates, doesn't get back. Green looking for Leonard. Now a corner three. And there, because Steph Curry didn't get back, he gave up that wide open corner three, but luckily for Golden State, Green missed it. Thompson pulling up, 1-on-4. Looney can't get the offensive rebound. Toronto's got a fast break again here, 3-on-3. Leonard picks up his dribble, closed down on Green by Iguodala. Now it's Gasol, Siakam, Green trying to draw the charge. Siakam spins out of it. 10 on the clock. Green on the drive. And I didn't like that help at all, but Gasol missing the three. Now Toronto's starting to get the looks. Looked like a foul on Green again. Man, Curry's dribble is just getting ripped up right now, but that foul is going to put Thompson at the line. It's been it's really been an interestingly refereed second quarter. Like, the things that I think are fouls aren't getting called as fouls, and things that don't look like fouls are getting called as fouls.
But importantly, I think that while it has been kind of strangely officiated, off the top of my head, I don't think it has particularly benefited either side egregiously.
Yeah. I mean, Van Vliet's on 3 fouls. Lowry is on 3
and
fouls.
Clay missed that free throw.
Yeah, the big missed free throws for Golden State. Yeah, I never watch the free throws because they're boring. I try to look at the stats or something instead.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard during the media game, even though it was only 1 free throw. I just had to watch them every single time. I even had to broadcast a couple of them.
So Lowry is out now, or no, he remains in the game with 3 fouls. We'll see. Hopefully, he won't pick up a fourth. It's kind of hard for him to turn it off defensively. So here's the switch, the straight switch of Looney onto Kawhi. Kawhi trying to draw the foul, and Kawhi just great touch right there. But that's a shot that Golden State will take. That's not a great shot. Iguodala looking for Curry. Thompson, nice job pulling the chair by Lowry. Green on 3 fouls. He can't do much here. He's got to just get out of the way, and Siakam lays it in. 3-point game, and it certainly is starting to feel pretty inexorable as the Warriors just cannot stop turning the ball over. Curry gets the switch on Siakam, creates the space. Wow, what a step back. But that's a little further than he would like to step back and still be on balance.
Yeah, and that's a credit to Siakam's length. That's why he went so far.
Siakam going at Draymond. Offensive foul is called on Siakam.
See this.
Yeah, the hook. I think he hooked him right before he turned. Yeah. Yeah, but the pressure that the Raptors are putting on the Warriors has been a major problem. Golden State has been turning the ball over like crazy all series, 17% turnovers, which would have been the worst in the NBA coming into the game.
Yeah, and they're now up to 20% in this game.
And just the concept, like even Gasol making that catch for Looney difficult. Thompson off the screen, into the lane, tries to finish with the left, cannot. Gasol, huge there again. McCaw has come on. He's going to load up a three. No, he's not. Passes it to Leonard instead. Nice look by Leonard to Siakam.
Great pass.
And, I mean, that's another play. I mean, that wasn't a turnover, but a missed layup at the rim, more transition.
And
Curry looking pretty gassed here. He's going to take the three. Didn't pick the ball up cleanly, but hits a desperately needed shot for Golden State. But again, I mean, this looks like games 3 and 4, right? Which is not a surprise. It's the same guys. Leonard tried to draw the foul, getting the 2 for 1. Now Curry looking to push it.
And I don't think they got the 2 for 1. I think the Warriors are just going to pull this long enough, and then the Raptors might get a heave, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, not a great decision there from Leonard. Curry getting past Siakam. Oh, he beat Gasol, but then lost the handle again. Picks up his dribble, shoots it off the side of the rim, and Looney with the tip in. So Golden State stabilizing slightly with 5 straight points. They'll go in with a 6-point advantage at halftime.
I'm looking to see if that Green shot. Yeah, that would have counted. The Warriors didn't really defend it, but Green, that's a tough half-court shot moving to his right. So 62-56 is the score. Leading scorer, Stephen Curry, 23 points on 7 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 6 of 6 from the line. 2 fouls on 3-pointers, and then a 2, but then one of them was only a one-shot foul. Curry has 3 assists and 3 turnovers, 3 of the Warriors' 9. Leading scorer for the Raptors is still Marc Gasol, 15 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. My computer is incredibly hot. And I need to plug it in, which I don't want to do because that typically makes it even hotter. That's why I was avoiding that. Yay.
Oh, man. Would you like some cold water to?
Oh, we have before you leave. There's a YouTube spammer. Can you block them?
Oh yeah, sure.
We made it.
You can take some questions. We don't need to all do a pregnant pause while I try and open up the window and block a spammer.
If Quinn Cook were to leave this offseason, where would you like to see him go? I think Cook would be best on a team that had another player who could create on the second unit. So, depending on how I've tried to think of who that is that has a kind of a second unit score that is larger than point guard sized. Portland with Evan Turner, maybe. Trying to think of this. I'm drawing a blank on what teams that is, but that's the situation. If that's probably more interesting than the team stuff. It could be Philly, depending on how they structure their lineups, because you could play him with Ben Simmons. That's an idea. But I think they want Jimmy to have the ball in some of those situations. I could probably run through it if I thought about it a little longer. But that's the situation: is team that has another player who can run stuff, and then Cook can be there. Can Steph Curry pull a game 3 and drop 45? Yeah, he can. He would probably have to take a lot of shots like he did in game 3, but it's going to be that high usage guy now. That will partially offset with what the efficiency that Curry was able to have in the limited Durant minutes. That will be, those forces will be coming at each other over the course of the game. But yeah, he could put up 45, absolutely. And he might need to. Is it possible for the Sixers to bring Tobias back for less than the max? It is possible, but there are a couple of different concerns there for Philly's perspective. One is Tobias Harris is going to have a max offer on the table. It's something Nate and I talked about on Dunked On that we recorded yesterday, is that he's going to have that. I would assume that Tobias will have a 3+1 max available, which then makes it even harder for Philly. My instinct is that they could do something like what happened with DeMar DeRozan, where it is a 5-year deal at more than the 4-year maximum, but not the full 5-year. That is totally possible, if not probable.
Have we looked at Kobe White at all? Oh, I should probably
Turn on.
Thing back on.
I can answer that one though. Have we looked at Kobe White at all? Kobe White, we will. He is on the list of players that we want to do the full breakdowns of, but he is not next. Next is DeAndre Hunter, partially because Nate and I wanted a quicker turnaround, and I had already started on DeAndre Hunter, so he was accommodating, and we were able to do that. But we'll do Kobe White soon enough.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'm ready to look at someone other than some underwhelming wing.
And so should we tell people the tentative plan for that? Just because we can.
What? Oh, that we're doing Hunter on Tuesday?
So
In theory.
So we're doing Hunter, and then the plan for the full breakdowns, because remember, the draft is 10 days away. The hope is Hunter, Kobe White, and Cam Reddish for full breakdowns, and then about 4 guys for a shorter thing before the draft. We'll see if we have enough time for that, but that's the hope.
I had some underwhelming wings for dinner. Yeah, bad wings are tough, man. Like the buffalo wings, when it's like they don't make it crispy enough on the outside, like the skin is just like kind of rubbery. Yeah, that's rough.
Somebody asked for the YouTube link on Twitter. It's been posted on Twitter from Nate's account. Ben is doing it. He's doing a good job of that. You can find it. Just go through Nate's tweets. It's not in every one because some of them are set with other things. But here, I'll retweet it right now. And there we go. If KD and Kyrie both leave in free agency, are they locked to join forces? No, I don't think that they are. And I mean, it's a possibility that those guys want to play together. They are 2 of the best free agents that are available, but I wouldn't say that's a lock at all.
Man, I'm just getting bummed out again.
Yeah, I wish they showed it less.
KD injury again. It was. I mean, man, the quality of play was so good too, and now this Warriors team just looks like they're.
Well, and the bigger thing is to me is the inevitability of it. Whether it's kind of it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it's soon. Like that idea of KD was the way to make this series way more interesting in the long run.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I think we know the story, whether that story happens today or on Thursday or on Sunday, but probably not Sunday.
Yeah, and we had a question in the comments of how would it look if you can just get like an okay small forward who can defend well enough to switch and make some threes. Now, that player may not be out there for next year.
Especially not for the mid-level.
Now, perhaps a trade could be made to acquire such a player. But, or maybe, what if, like, Trevor Ariza is available or something? Like, just someone who, like, at least can, will shoot a 3 when he's open and hit 35% of them.
They'd still be a very good team. I mean, I think they would still be. I wrote, this shouldn't be a surprise to people. I've written my off-season previews for both the Warriors and the Raptors for The Athletic. In the Warriors one, I talked about, I think there's still a very good team. Whether they are a title contender is an open question. Like that we just don't know where it's going to be. But somebody like Trevor Ariza, I mean, I think they could be close. But my computer's so hot. We could be looking at them in various different ways. But it's more dependent on whether the other stars are decentralized or whether they join us.
Well, I think it's very unlikely they would be favored in the finals, though. Whoever they
right. Yeah,
whether it's Bucks,
Raps, if Kawhi comes back.
Nate, you're looking 10 years younger. What happened? Maybe it's the sweating.
You're glistening. It's glisten. Could Clay play the 3 and look for a 2 instead? I don't think he can do that reliably. Maybe in spots, but
I completely disagree. I see no reason why you couldn't play the 3. But your problem there is that the reason that you'd be playing Clay at the 3 is because the two that you got
wouldn't be able to switch.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was getting at.
But I mean, I do think maybe if they want to just say, hey, we're going to go, we're going to defend more traditionally. We're going to go to a Clay will be our best defender on the wing. We still got Draymond, and we'll have a decent center hopefully, and we'll just play more traditionally. And now our offense is just going to be completely unstoppable again. That might be. I think that's
it's a path.
You may be able to get more bang for your buck there, but at the abs and in the regular season, I think that'll really really help them.
Sure.
But you're looking at an average-ish defense, I think, at that point. And maybe then you could go and the whole Draymond at center thing wouldn't really work anymore then either. If that guy is going to be part of the closing lineup with Iguodala, now you've got two guys that you need to help on if you get a switch, Steph and whoever that regular size 2 guard is.
What do you make of Bobby Marks and Zach Lowe both saying the Pacers have interest in giving a lot of money to Middleton? They should. Chris Middleton's a really good basketball player. If he's willing to take their call, then they should try to go after him.
All right, let's lock back in on the game here. Raptors, 9 of 17 at the rim and 5 of 9 from floater range. The offensive rebounding and the drives and fouling are just killing Golden State.
Yeah, and remember,
right
Toronto has 9 offensive rebounds, but that's only the credited ones to individuals. It's at least 11 in total. And the Warriors shot chart, 7 of 8 in the restricted area, but fewer offensive rebounds. I think they have 4. Oh, they have 5. And then 1 of 3 from floater range, 2 of 11 from mid-range. And then they're drilling their above the break threes, 10 of 15. That's a huge part of why they have 11 of 21.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to talk about what is the most unsustainable aspect of what's happened in the first half, that's Golden State going 11 of 21 from 3. And that's probably not going to sustain in the second half, and I don't think they really have a way to make up for it. Because the 2 of 11 from mid-range, that's because those are pretty difficult shots. And if you do improve on that a little bit, you're still you're improving up to 40% or something like that. So, and they're not getting a lot of shots around the rim. The other thing I'd say is more likely to regress is Golden State's free throwing rather than Toronto's. Toronto's offensive rebounding, I think, is more sustainable. So, 6-point lead for Golden State, but I still would make Toronto the favorites here. And especially just now, we see this a lot of times in Game 5. The Warriors have a lot of character, to be sure, of course. And, Draymond, Steph, those guys aren't going to give up, but they're going to have to play a lot of minutes in the second half. And just knowing now, being down 3-1, how thoroughly Toronto has outplayed them in this series and knowing what's ahead of you, that's got to be a mental burden.
Well, and now they have to give more minutes to players who aren't their best players. I mean, it's a very basic point. Yeah. But, I mean, now McKinney's going to have to play more. Maybe Jerebko comes back into the rotation. Quinn Cook gets more minutes. Sean Livingston gets more minutes. And that's even if you're playing the starters a ton of minutes, they can't do everything. They can't play 5 spots.
One thing I would say gives you a little bit of reason for optimism is I think the switching that Golden State should have tried last game is looking a lot better. With Looney out there, they're capable of doing that. I would think of trying to even get Jordan Bell some minutes so they can keep doing that. They're not going to do that, though, you would imagine. So to the extent that they can keep that going, but you got to play Quinn Cook. You've got a lot of guys who maybe it's not really going to work as well on. So it's how many, with their best unit, with Looney at center and their other 4 best players, you can do it and it might work, but I don't know how many minutes they can play that group.
Somebody asked, would you close with Looney? Yes. Looney is a part of their best 5.
Oh, easily, yeah.
I would caution people, there are people talking about videos and all that, in these sorts of circumstances, especially because we will find out more news relatively soon, just take a breather, see what happens, and 2, rely on the interpretations of video of people whose opinions are worth trusting. If it's an account that you've never seen before, or if you don't know what to look at in videos, Just save yourself the aggravation. You'll find out. I mean, the speculation, like, what really swung that for me was the Damari Carroll one, where it looked really bad and then it wasn't. And, like, in our business, sometimes we have to speculate a little bit on that because we're projecting where the series is going to go. But save yourself the aggravation if you can. I wouldn't go, Zapruder film on all these kind of things because, especially if you don't know what you're looking at, it's not going to make you feel any better. If Kemba Walker leaves the Hornets this offseason, what realistic free agent destination would you least like to see him end up on? I actually kind of like him in most of the destinations that I can think of because a lot of the teams that could clear cap are pretty point guard needy or at least creation needy. So, like, he'd help the Knicks a lot if Kyrie doesn't go there. He would help the Pacers or the Jazz. I mean, I think those would be interesting. Orlando, depending on how they structure their space, let's say Vooch gets overpaid by the Kings, he would totally change the structure of their offense. I don't know that there are any real cap space teams that I actively dislike him on who would give him an offer. It's just a strange thing, and that's not true most years in terms of point guards, but this year, I think it works out. Oh, because somebody said Brooklyn with Russell. Yeah, that would be not great.
Why does no one talk about Tobias Harris as a KD replacement? Because they just don't have a way cap-wise to obtain him.
Because the collective bargaining agreement does not allow that to happen.
So who are they going to start in the second half? I think they need to start Looney.
I think they should start Looney. I think they're going to start Cousins. That seems like Kumbaya Kerr's play. You didn't get to start at the beginning, didn't play in the second unit, did a good job, but scored some points in that stretch. I think that's going to be what he does. Which platform lets you pause to sync? YouTube. Check that out. The link has been tweeted out more than a few times, and I've retweeted it a few times.
All right, we're back here. Key stretch now. If Golden State could come out quickly, hit a couple of threes, get this up to double digits, maybe the complexion of this game can change. This is right about where we were at the start of Game 4. Draymond looking to bring Clay off a screen on Siakam. I mean, they have done such a good job getting through these screens. Iguodala into the lane. Wow, Lowry fouled him. How did they not call a foul on Lowry? I thought Iguodala missed a chance to just go right through him and pick that up. But Iguodala with a nice skill move, giving Golden State the 8-point lead. Van Vliet starting the second half again, as he has the last few games, over Danny Green. Gasol trying to post up Looney. Gasol has the advantage, at least size-wise. Van Vliet over Curry. Oh, rims out. The Raptors have done an amazing job of getting through screens in this game, by the way.
Yes.
Here's Curry inside position, but Thompson missed him. Gasol, now here's a three by Thompson as Gasol doubled.
And those escape dribbles like Giannis does are a lot more effective when it's Klay Thompson doing it than Giannis because he can shoot the ensuing shot.
Absolutely, and Klay has the size advantage on Lowry in the post there. Leonard going across the lane, doubled by Looney. That leaves Gasol open. Thompson comes over. Now they're going to get another swing. Siakam's three. I actually thought Lowry had the better look there. Curry with the save. No, another offensive rebound.
But that's a shot clock violation.
Yeah.
The Warriors. That was a good call by the refs to say the Warriors never controlled it. I think the refs this year they've been too aggressive with resetting the shot clock, or maybe that's the score, like the timekeeper. I don't know, but the Warriors never controlled that, so that's a good call.
Yeah, except they didn't call it that way.
All that praise.
I didn't believe that. I mean, did they say that was a controlled tap right to a Toronto player? Van Vliet off the Gasol screen. They're switching this. Now Thompson steps up off the switch. 12 on the clock. Leonard, he's got Siakam's corner three set up. Not there, so no harm done off that offensive rebound. They're giving Siakam that shot.
0 for 4 now for Siakam.
Green looking for Curry. Van Vliet right there when he catches it. Screen roll at Gasol. Looney way up top. He doesn't look happy right now. Tries to screen for Thompson. Into the lane. Looney goes into two guys. Lowry. No call on that? That's got to be something. They are giving Kyle Lowry the benefit of the doubt on this fourth for sure. How is that not either a blocker charge? Now Lowry, Looney forcing him to his right, likes to spin back left nonetheless and scores. And Looney right there got baited. He forgot that he was supposed to send Lowry right, adjusted his feet, Lowry went right, and then spun back left. Here's Curry with the pull-up three. Not there. That's one of the ones that they really needed. A decent enough look for Steph Curry. He's clearly uncomfortable, though, I would say. Oh, Iguodala finally get the strip. But, man, Kawhi, you just cannot get a loose ball around him. Now he's got Van Vliet. Thompson just lost him, and they give up a three.
The first made three by somebody other than Marc Gasol in this game.
And I take it back. That was actually Curry, who was kind of in help position but not really doing anything. Thompson was hard-pressed to rotate down to the corner. Here's Green on the drive. Past Siakam, blows the layup. Again, the length of the Raptors just making Golden State uncomfortable. Van Vliet, now to Siakam. Siakam wrong-footing Iguodala into the lane. Another foul on Iguodala, and Andre Iguodala just has not had it defensively these last few games, particularly tonight. He's getting called for fouls on those strips that always used to come so easily to him.
And I believe that's his third. It might be his second.
Yeah, clear foul on Iguodala. Siakam getting away with that off-arm shove that is totally legal these days.
Oh, we have another spammer.
Right lower leg injury for KD.
Oh, nice and specific.
Well, I mean, that's not great to just say it's the calf again.
Yeah, that's true. That would be better news than this.
Green at the elbow looking for Thompson off a Looney screen. Lowry just gets right through it. I mean, they are just not getting any airspace with these screens. Curry shoves off on Van Vliet. Oh, what a three from Steph Curry to stanch the bleeding for a moment. Golden State back up 7. But this is Golden State's best lineup here, too. That's worth noting. And they are still struggling right now. Siakam at Green. Swing it to Van Vliet. Nice defense by Curry to cut him off as Van Vliet tried to sneak past him. Once again, Curry with great defense. What a play by Curry twice in a row. Now Iguodala looking to push it into the lane, looking for Curry. Instead, it's Thompson in the right corner. Shoots it over Lowry, and he got it blocked. Thompson going after the ref instead of getting back. Now they're going to give up a wide open shot instead. No, they actually
still
to get back.
give up
And
an open
Thompson's
shot.
still just waiting around, but Green somehow gets the rebound. And what are they going to call here? Green reached around behind his back and grabbed the jersey of Siakam. And wow, that's about as clear a foul as it gets on Lowry.
That's the two clear fouls and one toss-up foul that they didn't call any sort of thing in Lowry.
On Lowry, yeah, that's a great point. Here's Leonard wide open for a three. Toronto has had their chances from three to eat into this lead even more. Curry attacking Leonard off the dribble. Iguodala's corner three. Quick release. Yes. Big shot again. Steph Curry. They have abused Kawhi Leonard in pick and roll all series.
And this is an 11-7 third quarter for the Warriors.
Lowry switched onto by Looney. Now it's Leonard into the lane against Iguodala. Oh, he threw an impossible pass. Golden State looking to push it. Everyone's exhausted. Thompson right into the lane and scores. Somehow that looked like it hit the bottom of the rim.
It looked like it hit side rim before it hit backboard and then went in.
So Golden State up 12 all of a sudden here. Couple of turnovers by the Raptors. Yeah, by the way, guys, you don't need to do the spam. That just makes it worse.
Yeah, because we see it.
Yeah, when I see it, I'll take it away. But now you're just hiding more questions. So.
Should the Bulls pursue Lonzo? Sure.
Well. So I mean, the thought would be it'd be the number 7 pick.
Yeah, I mean, he's an intriguing. They need somebody who can run their offense. I don't think that person is Zach LaVine, and They do not have that player on roster. I don't think it's Chris Dunn. Lonzo is... I still like his potential. He has limitations, to be sure, and the jump shot is a concern. But yeah, might as well pursue him. That doesn't necessarily mean that the price the Lakers are willing, or the Lakers / Pelicans, whatever, are willing to accept is necessarily worth it, but it's worth talking.
I don't understand how you guys are saying Iguodala's defense hasn't been very good. He's making Kawhi work hard, unfortunately, the tough looks. Yeah, maybe I'm overrating the fouls a little bit.
I think he's been fine. I don't think he's been great, but he's been fine.
Yeah. But on Siakam, he's been a lot less, I think.
Yeah, and remember, that was
because they're not helping
too.
on Siakam the way they are on Kawhi either.
Yeah, that could also be.
Yeah, no, and I don't think it has been Iguodala on Kawhi that much, as a commenter mentioned there. Should the Warriors trade first-round picks to keep their run going? Yeah, I think they've reached that point. I mean, Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and maybe Joe Lacob to a certain extent, want to be the Spurs, but okay, at what point are you really think you're going to get Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker with these picks? It seems pretty unlikely, especially because their player development has been, average.
Well, and they haven't drafted particularly well. I mean, Damian Jones is.
I don't know about that actually. I mean, so since they've been drafting, because they didn't have a 2014 pick.
Yep.
15 they drafted Looney. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked out eventually.
They got a guy who's starting.
I mean, they declined his 4th-year option.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, though. I mean,
and then it required him taking the minimum, they got kind of fortunate to get it back.
Okay, but the pick
he's
itself,
he's worth the player worth.
He's starting for you in the NBA Finals, the 30th pick. That's a good pick.
Sure.
The next year, Jones, that was terrible.
Then they didn't have it the next.
McCaw. They bought that pick. I mean, he's still in the NBA at 37 or 38, whatever the pick was. But, probably not going to work. But he showed flashes his first year. Jordan Bell, same thing. I mean, I think he's been underutilized.
Yeah, it could be more of a player development utilization thing. And then Jacob Evans isn't good.
Well, and I've got another terrible one for you. Nemanja Nedovic.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, no, that was 2013.
That was let's see, that was the year... that was the year Rudy Gobert was drafted. So that was 13?
Here's Gasol posting up on Looney. They're looking for some split cuts. Warriors switching it nicely. They've done much better switching since the early going. There's Lowry off a screen from Siakam. Blocked by Iguodala. Man, great job of the Raptors getting back, though. Looney looking for Clay in the post. Quick turnaround before the double can get there. Rebound by Kawhi. Man, his hands just snatching everything. He's been a wonderful rebounder in these playoffs, averaging about 10 rebounds a game out of the small forward position. Pick and roll. They don't switch it. More conventional style. Leonard going at Looney. Left hand. Oh, he almost got the rebound again, but finally someone takes it away from him. Golden State looking to add to a 12-point advantage.
And Golden State only credited with 3 fast break points in this game.
Curry off a Looney screen. Open 3. Not there. Looney trying to go for the board, and they're going to give Lowry the foul now with Looney just crashing into him. And yeah, Lowry actually did.
He went into Looney after he jumped. Is that?
Yeah. That's where it's so. Normally, when you see a guy going over somebody's back like that, here, watch Lowry. He's moving still into Looney after he's already jumped, and yeah, that's a pretty dangerous play, rightfully called as a foul. Thompson doubled up by Gasol. Still trying to get past him, and Gasol will pick up the foul, moving his feet.
And having Lowry Lowry on the floor here is also gutsy from Nurse because he's committed so many uncalled fouls before he got his 4th.
Yeah.
It's not like he's played well. He's played well with this. He's just not got. He's avoided a few calls that should have happened.
Curry against Gasol. Beautiful look under to Looney, and Looney with the nice left-handed finish before Gasol could get over there on the help. That's a beautiful pass from Steph Curry. 14-point Golden State lead here.
15-7 third quarter.
The switching has looked really good defensively for Golden State. They're at it again now. Switching off Gasol underneath to Green. Van Vliet into the lane. Gasol run off the line. has to find Van Vliet, gets Looney in the air, gets it off, and
Late clock
another late clock magic. Van Vliet has had a couple of those. That's a huge shot. Curry getting past Van Vliet. He's got Green open. Swings it to Iguodala, who wasn't ready. Instead, it's Curry in the corner off the Looney screen. His three does not drop. Curry has had some chances here, and he's exhausted again. He's just jogging back. Lowry into the lane. Gasol. Now Van Vliet. Gasol cutting down the lane against Thompson. And a foul called on Klay Thompson.
That was a good call. That was a good call. Thompson dropped his arm and caught Gasol in the arm.
Yeah, clear foul there from Thompson. Looney looks like he is definitely struggling. And, he had a comment after Game 4 when he played that by the end of the game, it got to be pretty painful. And I would have guessed the reason for that is he's getting shot up before the game and it wears off.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's been... That injury has looked really tough for him. Yeah, they're showing this is the one where he injured it originally back in Game 2. So Looney is going to sit. I didn't catch who replaced him. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Bogut. Yeah, Looney in considerable discomfort.
No, it's Cousins.
Yeah, so it is Cousins. This is interesting. Feast or famine with DeMarcus.
And now he's playing against Marc Gasol.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, Ibaka caused big problems for him in games 3 and 4 too. So
true.
Livingston, they're looking for Curry on the weak side. Van Vliet right on him. Instead, it's Klay. His three, not there. Cousins tries for the offensive glass, can't get it. Golden State starting to cool off from downtown. Draymond has the matchup on Kawhi. They get it to Gasol. Now it's Van Vliet. Three, drains it again. Fred Van Vliet. These are massive shots from him. The Warriors took, what was it, a 12-point lead? And now it's right down to 6. It might have been 14, actually.
And he shot that with confidence, knowing Cousins wasn't going to get out there.
Here's Draymond. Oh, they call the...
Wait, what?
I think they're going to get a blocking foul here on Gasol. Yeah, he turned into him.
I was very confused why the ref pointed right at Nick Nurse.
Yeah, maybe he was saying it was on the pass off.
Yeah, maybe that is what it was.
I thought he was pointing the other way at first.
Yeah. That's why I said pass crash. Yeah, that was...
Yeah. And that three, just a simple thing, but you're going to give that up most of the time. If you're switching, you don't give up that shot.
Right.
And they just don't have the personnel to play that way anymore. It's such a fundamental change in their defense when Looney isn't out there anymore, and obviously when KD isn't out there anymore either. Looking for Curry off the ball again. Thompson finds Cousins, and now they throw it away into the corner. And I mean, Cousins, you're wide open from 18 feet, man. You got to just take that shot.
The Warriors do a lot of those kind of like auto passes when they could just take the shot, and people say, "Oh, they weren't looking to shoot."
And
they could.
This is the Toronto Raptors. This isn't the Phoenix Suns where you're getting a better shot. And then Lowry, now they're going after Cousins in pick and roll. Lowry and Gasol, Lowry and Ibaka destroyed Cousins in pick and roll. Here's Curry going for the quick two. Not there again. Van Vliet pressure on his back, but Thompson with an open three, and that's a huge shot. Just to bounce the ball back to Steph Curry, and Danny Green had taken off down floor to get into the fast break action, and Curry found Thompson. Pick and roll at Cousins again. They're just going to switch it now, not give Lowry the head of steam. Double team going to come here on Gasol presumably. Swing it to Van Vliet, corner Leonard, his three, not there. And they're going to call a foul on DeMarcus. Could not box out Marc Gasol. DeMarcus has not been particularly good on the defensive glass in this series.
Correct. Yeah, I think it was game 2. He might have been game 3. He had a bunch of defensive rebounds, but the Raptors.
It was game 2.
Game 2, but the Raptors had a ton of offensive rebounds when he was on the floor.
Yeah, it was down the end there. So it looks like they're going to go to Ibaka now instead of Gasol. Golden State still hanging on for dear life with a 7-point advantage here.
But remember, the beginning of the fourth quarter is going to be a lot more treacherous for them now because Durant's not available.
Corner three from Ibaka. What a closeout by Draymond. They can't box out Green. Still keeping it alive on the glass. Steph able to recover. No, Lowry has it. And they've got a fresh 14. Here's Lowry's three. Not there. Green just desperately fighting on the defensive glass. Here's a push from Draymond. We haven't seen many of those. Cousins in the post going right through Lowry. Blocked from behind by Ibaka. And who's this foul going to be on?
I'm guessing it's going to be on Ibaka.
For just,
Just kind of the body contact.
No, I think they got the goaltend.
Oh,
So,
okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Nice job by DeMarcus running the floor, getting deep post position. And
Nope, that was not a
I
goaltend.
did not agree with
That
that
was not a
call,
goaltend.
yeah. But Ibaka easily could have been called for a foul there, crashing into Cousins'
Yeah.
body, too.
Though Cousins might not have made both free throws.
Let's see if they're going to go after Cousins and pick and roll again here. First, it's Kawhi. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They want Kawhi and pick and roll against Marcus. They missed a chance to pre-switch that. Little Spain action here now. Lowry is open, switched onto by Cousins. He wants to take him one-on-one, getting to his left. Easy layup, and DeMarcus, not knowing the scouting report there, you need to force Kyle Lowry to his right. Back to a 7-point game. Draymond in the post against Van Vliet. Curry is wide open this time. Great screen from Livingston, and Steph Curry can't buy one here in the third.
Curry's now 4 of 10 from 3 in the game.
Lowry back to Ibaka, who
Turnover.
lost it.
So the turnover margin's actually getting pretty close. It is now 11 turnovers for the Warriors and 10 for the Raptors. The Warriors have committed a few more live ball ones, but the possession game is narrowing. It's still not narrow because the Raptors have a huge offensive rebound advantage.
So, Ramona Shelburne reporting that KD just left. I don't know left where, but he's on crutches in a walking boot. Bob Myers is with him. So, starting to get a little bit of a concern here that this might be more than just another aggravation of the calf. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. Catch up here on some of the stats, which I haven't had a chance to look at for a while. Curry, despite a cold third quarter, 26 points for him. Klay Thompson on 20. DeMarcus has 11. KD still with 11 in those 12 minutes. For the Raptors, very balanced scoring. Gasol, 17 points, although only 2 in the second half. Lowry with 11. He's really started to cook in this quarter, getting to the rim. And Kawhi, he's really struggled tonight. 13 points on 18 shooting possessions for him. Does have the 5 offensive rebounds, 5 assists.
Well, and the assists, there's some real value added there. But he has turned the ball over a couple times. So, yeah, it has been other guys needing to step up. And Van Vliet, 3 of 6 from 3. Marc Gasol, 2 of 3.
And rest of team, 0 for 15. Yeah. 5 of 24 from the Raptors. So, and they have gotten some pretty decent looks. Golden State still 15 out of 31 from downtown. I will not change the channel to record Rick and Morty.
As great as it is.
Thank you very much.
Would Jared Dudley fit as the Warriors starting 3?
No, he's a 4, number 1.
Yeah, he's a 4, and him and Draymond together, both those guys, very good defenders, but he doesn't do that. Now, he'd be a good fit for the Warriors just in general to have another intelligent defender, but not as their starting 3. Oh, thank you very much to Bewilderbeast for subscribing on Twitch Prime. That's another way you can support this. If you have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Amazon Prime account with Twitch, and then you get Twitch Prime. You get a subscription. I believe it's 1 a month, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it gets us some money somehow. So, yeah, that's cool.
Does anyone have better cardio than Lowry? I would definitely say that Steph is up there. He covers a lot. I mean, Lowry doesn't run around on offense the way Steph does.
Redick's cardio's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't play as many minutes, though.
That's true. Does McKinney see the 4? Yeah, I expect him to.
All right, we're back here. And yeah, this game being as close as it is with that 3-point shooting disparity tells you all you need to know about how the fundamentals of this game is going. Although 31 3-pointers for Golden State is a lot more than they've been getting up. Trying to post Cousins at the dotted line, now trying to get him against Siakam. They lob it in, and he's wide open underneath. No help from the Raptors. What are they doing? Whoever's guarding, and actually really what that is Leonard and
Danny Green.
They're both guarding their guys because they're worried Steph is going to come off a screen. Back to a 9-point advantage. Golden State showing impressive resilience here. Cousins bothering Leonard, who picked up his dribble at the wrong time. They got to get it back to Kawhi here against DeMarcus. Instead, they go at Draymond, and Iguodala was just in no man's land. He just got shoved out of the way by Ibaka, but he also kind of lets himself get shoved out of the way.
Yeah,
he's one of the worst floppers in the league. Like, he'll flop, but it's like he just doesn't flop with alacrity.
It's
and
like
no one buys it.
Don't you notice that I'm off my normal positioning here, as opposed to like just diving or something?
DeMarcus double teamed. Iguodala's 3, good close from Leonard, and he forced a bad miss. Great job by Kawhi. He forced DeMarcus to pass it out and close down Iguodala. Now Kawhi into the lane, goes with the Harden rip move, and bad foul there by DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, and you're not going to stop Kawhi Leonard there, and he's an excellent free throw shooter. So the value add is extremely limited. I mean, and Kawhi could have made that shot.
And by the way, the fact that DeMarcus couldn't even dunk that shows you all you need to know about his
burst
explosiveness right now. So Leonard will get to the foul line. Toronto again has another missed free throw. Have hurt both sides here.
I like Ibaka not getting the handshake and then just keeping on walking out there to keep it moving.
So I don't think that Kerr should do the play Steph the whole second half approach.
Agreed.
Like, I think he needs to at least just get him 2 minutes.
I was thinking
even just for his own psychology. Iguodala, now Livingston, back screen by DeMarcus, looking for Steph coming out. Good switch out. That leaves Livingston open. They rotate it. Green in the corner. Iguodala, 2-point jumper, is way off. And once again, I mean, you see, if that's a decent 3-point shooter, it's the guy's got a wide open corner 3 in the quarter off that swing. You got Steph's gravity. They did get the 2 for 1, but that's not a good shot. You're not going to make a living off of that shot.
And that's why they can sell out more aggressively to Curry, is because they know the other shots they're conceding aren't as dangerous.
Leonard into the lane, and he threw it to an open teammate.
No, that's Jordan Bell.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was the white
future
warm-ups
teammate
of the Warriors. It caused a turnover right there. So Warriors can get the last shot of the quarter.
I like the ref standing, be like, you have to inbound it over here, and the Warriors are just like, nah, we're good for now, and I think it just bought them some rest. They look really tired.
Van Vliet will take a break here he'll cede to McCaw, and we'll see what Golden State is going to run here at the last session. Clay is back in as well. They're going to run their fist up action. Toronto defends it well. Clay has Draymond in the corner for a 3. Again, it just not even close. I mean, like these guys just can't make these shots. I mean, that's all it is. Like the Warriors are getting stopped because guys like Iguodala and Green just aren't shooting threats, or Livingston for that matter.
Yeah, and so you think about not only the misses, like Draymond now 1 for 3, he made that early one and then has missed a couple since then, but also the shots that they don't take that end up gumming up the offense, and so those are their real big consequences on that as well.
So let's reset it now. 6-point game. Presumably, Curry is going to get a little bit of a break. He's on 30 minutes right now. Did get more of a break to start, but I think he's a little exhausted right now. Try to get him back in there. He hasn't hit a shot in a while. They've been using his gravity well, but they've been using his gravity, well. But yeah, it's. I think that's what they have to do, and if Toronto ties the game, at least you got Steph Curry ready to come back, and in theory, he's the best player in the series if you're a Golden State fan, and hope that he can bring you home. But you got to have him fresh. If he's exhausted by the end of this, it's not going to matter.
So somebody asked who we think is going to win this game. I think Toronto wins it. I don't the 6-point margin, especially because Curry either will or should rest. And Toronto's, even though that quarter ended even, I thought that Toronto outplayed the Warriors overall, and Toronto had some correctable mistakes. So I think it's going in that direction. I don't know that the math is necessarily there. That's just my instinct.
Why has Kawhi struggled? I think the Warriors switching has helped, but a bigger problem has been the 5 of 24 from 3. Kawhi, was it game 2 that he had the 34 points? I guess it was, right? But the Raptors shot very poorly at the rim overall in game 2 because they weren't hitting threes to loosen up the defense. So that's been a part of it. I think overall they've just had better defense on them and more switching.
And they've done something that's been true a fair amount in this series of make life harder on him and concede shots to other people. Gasol and Van Vliet have made some of the shots the other people have not. I mean, Siakam is 0 for 4 on threes. Almost, I could probably count that at least 2 of the 4, maybe even more than that, were plays that they were helping on Kawhi, and then basically that was the resulting play, and they just weren't burned by it.
Golden State actually got 7 shots at the rim in that quarter, and making 5 of them. They are 2 of 14 from mid-range and 11 of 21 on above the break threes. They've also gotten up 11 corner threes in this game, but and they've made 4 of them. So that's not a terrible
I think Curry
percentage.
made a couple of them. Clay made 1, and then
What about Toronto?
13 to 23 in the restricted area, but they've grabbed a lot of those misses. 6 of 11 from floater range. Only 5 mid-rangers. They made 2 of those. And then, as we've talked about a few times, 5 of 24 from 3.
Yeah, Toronto, 34% offensive rebounds. That doesn't even count the team rebounds that they've gotten. Yeah, and I think an underrated aspect of this, as you mentioned, has been the turnover battle evening out a little bit now.
Yeah. The Warriors haven't gotten as much in transition off of that, but they have gotten a few, obviously those are all stops, and they've gotten a few just overall.
All right, so it's Jordan Bell. I think playing at the 4, they're giving Draymond a break here. Cousins, they go at him in pick and roll. That leads to a wide open Danny Green 3, and he airballs it. Wow. Danny Green, man, he is just feast or famine, maybe more than any player in the NBA. That's what happens when you're relying on three-point shooting exclusively for your value. Livingston looking for Thompson. Now Livingston right down the lane, finding Cousins, gets his man in the air, and Cousins will go to the foul line as he's hacked by Ibaka. And great read by Livingston. He saw that Clay had gotten open and was going to be open coming to the near side. He knew that both Toronto defenders would be occupied by him, and then he could go right down the lane.
And Ibaka there, I mean, yeah, the trust your size idea is much more prevalent against a big. I mean, not against a big, but there, Cousins has so little burst. I don't think he needed the jump. I think he could have just stood there.
0 for 3 now from the line for Cousins. That one was not close.
And so Bell, I think that was game 3. Bell didn't play in the first 3 quarters and then only came in as the backup power forward in the 4th quarter, which is just a strange.
Well, there was one game where he came in just for the last minute of each quarter. I think that was game 4, I want to say.
Yeah, I think that was game 4.
A dribble pitch action for Siakam. He wants to go at Thompson, swing it back instead. Pick and roll, going at Cousins. Bell with good help on Lowry. Now they late switch that beautifully. Ibaka has to create. Still plenty of time. Swing it to Powell into the lane on Cook. Floats it up. Oh, beautiful.
What a pass
to Ibaka. He fooled me on the call. That was fantastic. Going right at Quinn Cook. And that's a matchup, I think. Cook guarding anyone is something they can exploit. And then Cousins can't hold off Ibaka. The Golden State lucky to recover that Toronto pressure again.
But we're late clock.
Yeah, here Cousins. He's got to take this 3 over Ibaka. Man, the Golden State could have used that one. Now, good job by Bell getting back on Siakam. Bell has great straight line speed. Siakam trying to attack him one-on-one. See where the help comes from here. Great defense by Jordan Bell. Siakam has to back it out. Still plenty of time. 10 on the clock. Ibaka going at Cousins. Hooks. Scores. DeMarcus Cousins starting to get taken advantage of once again defensively. And right there, Cousins, if he just keeps his chest on Ibaka, he forces a tough shot. Instead, tried to go for the strip. Now Cousins has Ibaka in the post. See if he tries to attack. Instead, they throw it out to Quinn Cook. Thompson not open. Thompson wanted a screen from Cousins. Instead, it's Cook getting the screen from Cousins for a huge three. Bell getting back on Siakam. Pass force, good close from Cook.
I don't think Siakam's used to somebody recovering on him like that.
Yeah, but now they get the Lowry drive, and Lowry has beaten Cousins with that move 3 times now, that get in the lane and pump fake, and I think Kerr is going to get a timeout here. I like the way Bell has looked. I think maybe you just take Cousins out. No, Cook is just going to not get a timeout. Instead, gets it to Bell for the floater in the lane. Jordan Bell has played well. Curry is at the table. Golden State hanging on for dear life, fiending for buckets with this group. Cousins switching on to Lowry again, trying to post Ibaka on Livingston. Offensive foul.
Wow.
And Curry will get back into the game here now. I think that they should, when Green comes back, leave Bell in. He's shown some good minutes. Play him at center, do some switching, and
he's the closest thing they have to Looney for the non-Looney minutes. Imperfect, but closest thing they have.
Yeah, and he provides a little bit of a different element with his athleticism. But Livingston is out, so they got Cook and Curry. This is a unit that has probably one of their best shooting groups.
And that is what they did. Cousins. It's Bell at center.
Yeah. Kawhi headed to the table now as well. Draymond looks for Clay. Back to Draymond. Draymond on the attack. At Ibaka finds Bell, but the pass was poor. Bell's going to have to shoot it. No, it's Draymond fading away. Rejected by Ibaka. Shot clock violation. And Draymond had Bell, but he threw the pass right at his ankles.
And that was a good demonstration of how the importance of pass quality, because there he made the right read, but if the pass is too low, then you lose all the benefit of the read.
Draymond with the matchup on Lowry. We saw this in the second half of Game 2, trying to get Kawhi against Thompson. Help comes from Curry. Thompson and Curry forced Kawhi to pick up his dribble. Now it's Lowry against Bell on the switch. Let's watch out for the pump fake here from Lowry. He shoots it over Bell. Man, what a shot. Kyle Lowry has been fantastic on these switches. That's one you just got to live with if you're Golden State. Late clock, maybe Bell should have pushed up on him a little bit more, though. Curry getting past Powell into the lane. Left hand, great extension. And Ibaka looked like he was going to get the block, but he retreated back to Bell at the last moment.
And a nice job by Powell there, making himself available than just doing a touch pass to Lowry. So you give your guy an outlet for the inbound, and then don't change what you're doing.
Here's Powell, and he's going to be fouled. I think that's Cook with the elbow in the back of Powell.
Yeah, that would be a more appropriate call than calling Green for the strip.
Two fouls on Toronto, one on Golden State thus far. Lowry has Draymond. Kawhi is back in, as mentioned. Here's Lowry getting past Thompson along the baseline, and then he finds Serge Ibaka easily, and
Jordan Bell.
Bell just totally lost him, and Kerr is going to get a timeout. I imagine we'll see Kevon Looney now, and maybe let's see, how many minutes is Iguodala on?
24.
He's on 24, so he conceivably could come back for the duration. Maybe they'll just go with their best group the rest of the way here in desperation time. Yeah, that's pretty inexcusable error by Bell. And that, Bell is another feast or famine guy.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry, 16 points, 7 of 13, plus 2 in this game. They've credited him with 2 blocked shots, and he has 6 assists, but his penetration has been the major offensive engine for Toronto here in the second half. He's started a lot of drive and kick sequences.
And that was something we saw in the fourth quarter of Game 4 as well.
Who is more valuable to Golden State, Klay Thompson or Draymond Green? That's a tough call. It really, I've gone back and forth on that so many times.
Same.
This regular season, it was probably Clay.
But Draymond's defensive versatility, I think in the playoffs, it's Draymond. But see, the question is like, what facsimile are you getting?
Yeah, no, it's
because if a player who is a more limited shooter than Klay Thompson, that just completely guts what the Warriors.
I mean, it's like they can't score without Clay and they can't stop anyone without Draymond. So it's pretty damn equal. And both of those guys play pretty big roles on defense and offense, respectively.
Another
as well.
spammer.
Very well.
Yay. Do you like Kerr putting Draymond on Lowry the last few minutes? Yeah, I think that's a decent approach. It was something that looked awkward in Game 2, but actually worked reasonably well. It depends on what scheme they're going with, but yeah, especially if they don't want to put Draymond on Kawhi, which for a series of reasons they don't, it's fine. It does limit his help capacity in a different way than having him on Kawhi does, but they just don't have that many defenders they trust.
Will you guys go to as many Warriors games next year with the move to San Francisco? Yeah, it's probably going to be an easier commute for me because 880 just sucks so badly. It really is. Might be the worst freeway in America.
What is the Spain pick and roll? Do you want to?
Yeah, so it's basically the concept, although it's not necessarily played this way anymore, is you'll see someone, usually a shooter, standing at the free throw line while the pick and roll is set. And what it originally was is you set the pick and roll, and then you have that guy standing at the free throw line set a screen for the roll man so he can just roll right to the rim unmolested. Now it's turned more into a way to have that guy standing at the free throw line be your best shooter. So you run the pick and roll, someone has to help on the roll man, and then that guy can pop right out. Or you can always just have that guy set the back screen too. There's a lot of options.
And that's why it's so valuable to have somebody like Eric Gordon, who's a talented shooter and a pretty stout screener, because then he can fill both roles.
All right, we're back here. Danny Green pressuring up on Curry. He gets it back. Curry goes away. They're trying to screen Thompson to the ball. Instead, it's Curry popping out. He was open. Iguodala got it to him too late, and the shot is off as a result.
And great loose ball, Kyle Lowry. What a surprise.
Quinn Cook trying to bother him defensively. Yeah, Curry has had the open looks here and has not been able to convert in the second half. Lowry with the size advantage into the lane, finds Ibaka. Kyle Lowry killing the Warriors, but Ibaka missed it that time. Now two guys down behind the play. Thompson crossing up on Powell, gets it to Iguodala. Draymond setting the screen to evolve Ibaka. Curry gets past Ibaka into the lane. Rejected. I think it was Kawhi who got him. And once again, the lack of gravity that brought the help defender into play. Here's a three from Green. Not there. Kawhi, awesome offensive rebound, and lays it in. Toronto within one. And the dam feels close to bursting now for Golden State.
And Kawhi Leonard that was either his sixth or I think it was his sixth offensive rebound of this game. Incredible.
Yeah, Steph Curry putting Ibaka in the mix, gets past him. Finding Iguodala, passes up the three. Draymond instead. Wow, big shot from Draymond Green. I don't know why Iguodala thought that Draymond had a better look, but apparently the right decision. And Steph is getting right to the basket. They're running that Steph-Draymond pick and roll to death right now. We'll see whether Nurse goes back to Gasol here pretty quickly. But with Cook on the floor, they've got more spacing with Green at center. Another miss from the Raptors. Cook, he's got Iguodala in the corner, into the lane. Iguodala getting past Ibaka. Draymond looking for Steph, fake handoff. And they're going to get a double dribble here on Draymond Green.
Yeah. Because he tried to go for kind of the fake DHO, but he'd already dribbled.
And you know what created that was just great defense by Danny Green on Steph. Draymond thought that he was going to be open, and instead he wasn't, and he had to double dribble. Bucks fans are like, now you call a double dribble in this building? DeMarcus is back out there. He's going to replace Cook.
Looney must not be available.
I think Looney just can't go right now. He must have aggravated that too much. I still would go with Bell over DeMarcus here, actually, but I'm certainly in the minority. Here's Kawhi going at Cousins. Stopped by Iguodala. Great defense by him. Iguodala pushing it. He's got Thompson for a three over Lowry. Air ball. Draymond keeping it alive. Cousins with two guys on him loses it. Now it's Kawhi. Ooh, he looked to travel but did not. And everyone stopped and Powell just gets a dunk.
Norm Powell, who was not even in the play when the original almost travel happened,
Steve Kerr may suffer an aneurysm right now. Like, he is going to be so mad about nothing gets him more angry than non-travels. Let's see here. 1, 2. No, he's fine. Not a travel. He just did it really slow. That's totally legal, and everyone just stopped.
That's kind of like some of the Giannis ones where it's like it takes so much time that people assume it's a travel, but he took 2 steps.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks ugly, but so Curry, he has really not been able to get going in the second half. He's got 28 points.
So news from Chris Haynes, or from Warriors. Looney has re-aggravated his fracture and will not return.
Yeah, and they desperately need him right now. Catch you up here on some of the stats. Draymond with 4 fouls. He's the only Warrior in foul trouble. For Toronto, Gasol, Lowry, Ibaka, all on 4.
And
Van Vliet still with 3.
But no team is really in foul trouble for the quarter. Nobody's even close to the bonus. It's 2 fouls for Toronto, and only 1 on the Warriors.
Powell has been in the game just now. I imagine that he's going to be taken out. Toronto is outscored.
Congratulations on getting that nice hustle dunk. Now you're going to be out of the game for the rest of it.
Yeah.
But that's the right call.
Man, I mean, I would be rolling with anyone except DeMarcus late in the game here. I mean, they can't defend when he's out there. I think you got to go with Bell and just hope that you can switch. And yeah, he's going to make some mistakes, but DeMarcus can just be attacked every time. And then offensively, he can't finish around the rim. He doesn't get back on D. I mean, he just provides so many places to attack. But I think if they do decide to go that way, maybe they would just go back to Cook instead and play Draymond at center, which the offense at least looked good with that group. That maybe that's a reason to go there. But the options for Steve Kerr are just so unbelievably limited at this point in time.
I like the point that BKL just made, something you and I have talked about. If Kerr didn't only throw Bell in emergency minutes, then baby Bell wouldn't make the inexperienced mistakes. I agree.
We've been saying that for 2 years.
He doesn't get enough reps, and last year it looked like Bell was better than Looney most of the year. Looney has definitely outplayed him this year, but he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt when every other guy does. And he's talented. He just needs the experience. Are you guys rooting for anyone, or are you 100% neutral? 100% neutral. In terms of rooting interest, I was debating.
It's probably better for business if the Warriors lose, actually.
Yeah. I mean.
Not if the Warriors win tonight, it's good for business. But if they lose the series, it's probably better.
Well, so what I was thinking about before what happened with Durant was I wasn't kind of ready to see this series over because I thought there was more of the story left to be told. But now, with Kevin Durant out, I'm pretty ambivalent.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors, maybe they could win a home game, push it to 7. I think they'd be massive underdogs in a Game 7. But, this is a big 5-33. Good effort for Golden State tonight, though. You have to say, as undermanned as they have been, although they're living on what they did with KD in the game. Here's Thompson off the screen. Iguodala left by Lowry into the lane. Tough shot. I mean, that's just not Iguodala's shot. Kyle Lowry leaves him to help on Thompson, and Iguodala can't make a play. Here's a 3 from Leonard for the lead.
Incidentally, very similar to the KD pull-ups that were huge clinchers in the last 2 NBA finals.
And Golden State getting burned going for offensive rebounds and not getting back these last 2 possessions. Curry, his 3 to answer is off. Steph Curry has not had the answer here in the second half. And he's had some chances, too. Leonard trying to close it here, going at Iguodala, goes right into him, and it's now a 3-point Toronto lead as Kawhi Leonard beginning to take over. Warriors begging for travels. They got to play. Thompson into the lane. Finds Green. Again, no spacing. Green trying to go at Kawhi, and an improbable left-handed hook shot from Draymond Green at Golden State back within one.
And I don't think Toronto needs to get too cute here. They can just run Kawhi pretty hard here.
Yeah, I mean, and with Cousins out there, the Golden State just doesn't have the help capacity. And now pick and roll, Kawhi at Cousins. They switch it. Late clock, contested, drained again. Kawhi Leonard over DeMarcus Cousins. A personal 8-2 run from Kawhi Leonard into the post to Boogie. Gasol is going to get called for the foul, and that should be his fifth, and also just a third foul on Toronto in this quarter, though.
Yeah. And so Kawhi up to 24. He has, I believe, 11 in this quarter, 8 of the last 8 Raptors points.
And that might seem like a hard shot, but when you're going up against DeMarcus Cousins, you know you can get that off. Curry, Cousins, Iguodala has to get into the lane. Pulls up over Lowry, way off. Again, Iguodala just not capable of attacking off the dribble right now, or maybe in these last couple of years, frankly. So this is a 4-point game. Kawhi can put Golden State into great difficulty here. You know he's taking this shot. Gets past Clay, into the lane. Oh, yes.
And a beautiful in-between game there. Recognize that he might not get all the way to basket, just pulls up on Thompson, who was expecting the full drive.
Yeah, Thompson gave him the right hand. Draymond, pick and pop. Curry is open with Cousins in his way. His own man, Cousins in his way. That's a perfect microcosm for how DeMarcus Cousins just has not been on the same page. And Kawhi, again, you know they're going to get a timeout here, to use it or lose it timeout. Golden State only has one timeout remaining.
I'm not sure I would have used that.
Just because of the rest aspect?
Because of the rest aspect, I
think Kawhi was a little tired, actually.
Sure.
After
if
that
Kawhi needs the rest, then you give him the rest. But I thought other than, beyond that, the Warriors guys looked more gassed. I don't think the crowd will dissipate at all.
And, Steph Curry, it has just been a massive struggle for him in the second half. And it's just, he was awesome when KD was out there. You just saw what it was. First half for Steph Curry, 7 of 11. He had 23 points. Second half, he is
2 of 11.
2 of 11, and he's scored a mere 5 points. And you saw some of those 2-pointers that he was making. He's down to 4 of 13 from 3, and a bummer for Steph that he hasn't been able to play better these last 2 games. He's had some chances, especially in this game, where if he plays to his normal level, maybe Golden State has a lead right now. But I mean, you're at the point now, 6-point lead. Another bucket or 2 for Toronto is going to ice it.
Here's a weird quirk of this game. Norm Powell basically didn't play in the first 3 quarters and might play the whole fourth, and Pascal Siakam has been out during this run.
I don't think Powell's been in now. Oh yeah, he has been in now. Yeah, you're right. I think they decided we're just going to give it to Kawhi anyway, so we might as well have someone who can hit an open 3. But it looks like they're going to go back to Van Vliet now, and Powell is going to be. Usually you have the guys who are in the game sitting on the bench, so I think Powell's going to be out. And another timeout for some weird reason.
Powell also, he might not be used to that at this kind of situation, just be standing up because out of force of habit.
Has the finals outcome ever been more affected by injury? Well, I mean, that's a tough question. If you want to talk about within the finals series, 1989, Magic and Byron Scott were both out for the Lakers. But as I recall, they had already gone down 2-0 in that series. I think Magic injured it in Game 2, his hamstring. I think they both had hamstring injuries, actually. So 6-point Raptors lead. Presumably this is going to be Kawhi. Maybe they'll try and use the gravity of Kawhi in some fashion here. Lowry inbounds to Kawhi. Draymond has him now. Presumably, you would think there'd be a pick and roll. Instead, there's going to be a foul out on the floor on Draymond. That'll be his 5th. And the Warriors really, the way, like, they're letting Leonard get the ball on the right side of the floor and just get right to his right hand. Now they switch Thompson onto Kawhi instead. Kawhi just going at Klay behind the back, creating the space, pump fake, great defense, fade away, not there. Better defense from the Warriors that time. They didn't let him get all the way to the rim. Warriors still breathing. Quinn Cook going to screen for Curry. Now he slips it. Again, Kawhi denying Thompson so they can't swing it. Curry swings it to Klay. Nothing happening. He's got the open three now, though. Big shot by Klay Thompson. As no one stepped up, the matchups got all screwed up. I think it was Lowry who should have switched over there. And that let Klay get the three. Great screen from Draymond Green. 3-point game. Gasol at the elbow. They're going to run a split cut out of the corner for Kawhi. Nothing there. Oh, they miscommunicate. Wide open three for Lowry. Oh, it's off. Klay and Draymond totally blew it on that split cut. Dodging a bullet. Curry. He's got Cousins on the roll. Takes the three instead. Short. Cousins with the jam.
Goaltend.
No, they called the goaltend. They'll review it, though. It's just under 2 minutes. They should be able to review here.
Yeah, I saw the ref make... no, he was making the goaltend sign. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but if they call it as a goaltend, they should be able to review it. It's under 2 minutes now. Let's see. It is coming off. No, that's a good... That looks good to me. Let's see the top view. I think that's a good tip dunk. Ooh, it doesn't look as good from that angle.
That's not a useful angle.
No, it's not. This one, it looks pretty good. But the above the... I don't think they're going to have enough to overturn here.
Yeah, do they not have a straight over-the-top camera angle?
They do. This one. Yeah, you still don't... I mean, it's basically the center of the ball is right on the rim. So whether that counts as in the cylinder or not, I think it does not. I think it counts as being in the cylinder. And whether they have enough to overturn, man, this is why offensive goaltending is such a BS rule, though. They should just get rid of it. That one, it looks good.
Yeah, see, that was the angle. That's
the one you wanted, right? Yeah. It looks good on that one.
Clean.
If they show that one,
that's the angle they should always start with. Like you look right down on the cylinder.
Wow, this is a huge call right now. Man, Steph, just another decent look at a three.
As somebody in the YouTube comments noted, that was the highest DeMarcus Cousins' jump, but it was also wingspan. Like that was a long arm play as well.
Steve Javy giving us something here. If anyone wants to give us a quick summary of what he says, that would be appreciated. Yeah, I mean, that angle looks like a good basket. The one above the rim looks like a pretty good basket. There's a sliver of the ball that's still over the rim. And I always thought the rule was it has to be no part of the ball outside of the cylinder. But I saw something recently that indicated just if it was in a place where it's clearly going to miss.
Because that was clearly going to miss.
Yeah. They don't give it to him, though. Huge call there.
So I'm guessing it was because of the ruling on the floor that they couldn't, kind of the NFL thing if you can't overturn it.
Yeah, Javy says not enough evidence to overturn. I mean, that's a tough call, man. And we'll see if that ends up being key. Warriors still have Cousins on the floor. They go back with a more defensive group. Cook is out of the game now. Leonard in pick and roll at Cousins. Klay competing to get over the screen. No advantage gained. 8 on the clock. Lowry wants Gasol to set the screen. They're going to switch this late clock, presumably. Lowry on the drive throws it out. This is going to be a shot clock violation. Great defense by Golden State. I thought Kawhi gave it up too quickly, really, without having created any kind of an advantage.
Well, and I think he was hoping for a quick screen and then to get the ball back, but Lowry he wanted the Gasol to get out there, and that took a lot more time.
Yeah, good job by Thompson competing to get over the screen. Warriors don't know what they're running, wasting time. Now it's Green. They want to get Curry off the ball. Hand off Iguodala. Curry open on the near side. Gets the look over Van Vliet. Yes! Steph Curry has tied it with 1:22 remaining. It's been such a struggle for him, but getting that off-ball look rather than off the dribble helped him. Now Kawhi going to try and go at Clay. Tie game, pulled back, three-pointer, short. Rebound, picked up by Curry. Curry looking to push it in transition. Warriors can take the lead. Behind the back, Curry underneath Iguodala. He's got Draymond. Thompson eluding Leonard. His three. Good! Klay Thompson. 2 straight threes for the Warriors. What heart from the Golden State Warriors. You thought they were dead after that Kawhi run. Incredible defensive effort and 2 threes by the Splash Brothers.
And those were some rapid-fire passes by Iguodala and Draymond Green to get it over to Thompson in time.
Yeah, and they didn't get a second rotation to Thompson after he pump fake Leonard. Great play by him. Draymond was wide open, recognized that he had Thompson available, and that all started with a hard push by Steph Curry at this point in the game, exhausted, to get the matchup scrambled.
Okay, so let's take stock of where we are. Warriors lead by 3. 57
Golden State has a foul to give.
Golden State has a foul to give. 57 seconds left. So Toronto does not need to go for a 3 here, though you would love to run something that has that as a possibility. But another important part is the more time you take here, the fewer possessions you're going to have to make it up in case you don't get something, or even if you do, because then the Warriors can try to get a 2 for 1.
Yeah. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Yeah, if they go for the 2, I mean, you can say, hey, we basically have got 2 possessions left here. At least, 2 non-fouling possessions, the way I like to look at it. You obviously can extend the game by fouling. This has been an effort worthy of champions by Golden State here, even if they do go down. And presumably Kawhi is going to be who they're going to look for here. They got Kawhi at the 4 shooters on the floor. Lowry is guarded by Iguodala. Gasol going to try and screen Lowry open here. Pick and roll. Gasol down the lane. Stopped by Cousins. No foul is called. They get it to Curry, and now the Raptors are going to try and pressure up here. Now the Raptors have one more chance. Here's the double team. They get it into Green. He got fouled by Green, and they are going to... No, they call it over and back. That's a foul.
Yeah,
the contact causes him... Oh, no, I guess he turned away, and it is over and back. Wow, he turned away before the foul. I take it back. Green wants to review it. There's nothing to review that I'm aware of. He steps over the line, so Warriors better lock in here. They've got Green guarding Van Vliet. High pick and roll for Lowry again. He's got the 3, gets past Cousins. Rejected by Cousins, and they call the goaltend that time. We'll see if they review this one, but I'm pretty sure that might have hit the glass first. Let's see here. Yes, it did. So 1-point game. Huge turnover, and great job by the Raptors, by the way. No timeout needed. We're going to double team Steph Curry. Force a turnover
Lowry
again.
went early enough that they can actually play defense here if they want.
Yeah.
They can call a timeout to advance the ball.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a great job by him. And if I'm Kerr, you got to get... I mean, just to not be able to switch right now is just a killer. They're going at DeMarcus every single time, but...
And Cousins is coming out.
I'm not sure about that. I think they might just be chilling right now.
Oh, that's possible too.
As there's the review.
Oh, because the review. That's right.
Yeah. So 30.4 left. Nick Nurse has said before, if you're under 28, you foul. They are not under 28. But I do expect Toronto to trap here. Golden State needs to have some kind of a press breaker type thing ready. If you have the layup available, they should probably take it here.
Yeah, because the Warriors, remember, they still haven't used the foul to give, so then that can burn some more time.
They have the foul to give, although they shouldn't be too aggressive with it. Curry, trap is going to come here. They better get in position to help him. Now they give it up to Green instead. I'm surprised they did not trap. Warriors running some action off the ball, and an offensive foul on DeMarcus Cousins. And yeah, he stepped into Van Vliet. He was outside the cone of his body. Just a terrible time for a turnover. 2 turnovers in these last few minutes. That is an offensive foul. Van Vliet didn't have to do much to sell it. And now Toronto will not take a timeout. I would go with Bell here instead of Cousins. No, Livingston is in. So they can switch everything.
And they
in
still
theory
do have
here.
the foul to give here. I don't think they should use it too early, but they can have it in their back pocket.
They go under on Van Vliet. Thompson trying to deny Leonard. Leonard is just going to run it down. This is one-on-one. Iguodala looking to double. Comes over. Van Vliet. 2 seconds. Lowry's three in the corner is off, and Golden State has survived to send it back to Oracle Arena. Incredible effort by the champs to come back. You thought they were just dead, Danny, when they trailed 101 to 97, and they turned up the defense. 2 huge threes by Curry and Thompson. We'll watch the replay here. And great double from Iguodala. They were not going to let Kawhi go one-on-one here. And they moved it well. Draymond Green getting out on Lowry. A good look, and Lowry was not even close with that. He was rushed with Green closing him down, but I thought he should have had a better effort there.
Toronto only scored 1 basket, that goaltend, in the last 3:27. Kawhi Leonard made a pull-up to put them up 6. They only scored once more the rest of the game. The Warriors came back.
Remember you mentioned how you wouldn't have taken that timeout. It seemed like they had everything going for them. Golden State was exhausted, and I don't know, you'll never know the counterfactual there, but we do know that they lost with that timeout being taken. I mean, I don't think that that's what lost it for them, but maybe Golden State was tired. They felt like they were on their heels, and they were able to regroup. So game 6 now.
We genuinely have no idea if there will be another NBA cast. There might be. If there's a Game 7, there will be, but we don't know if there will be one. We will be at Oracle for Game 6, so you'll have to deal with the other broadcast, and you can tell people, oh man, I wish there was an NBA cast for this game. You can talk about that. This has been a lot of fun. We will, of course, have Dunked On tonight. And
yes, this is our season finale. Thank you so much for joining us, right?
Absolutely. It's been fun. Last year we did the closer, so we knew it was over. This year we don't, but that was a lot of fun. Hopefully Game 6 can be worthy of this series, and however it goes.
And all that said, Danny, you know what won them this game? 12 minutes of Kevin Durant, 11 points
plus 6
on 6 shooting possessions plus 6. Hopefully we'll have a Game 7 in this series. That would be awesome to cast the Game 7 of the finals. This game was unbelievable, and of course we'll have more on Dunked On tonight. Till then, thanks guys.